All right, so we are back. Ugh. Sorry, guys. I am really sorry for that. Thank you, Late Night Trip. Thank you for sticking around. My apologies to all of you, to everyone that was leaving notes. Sorry. I had to do some work very fast trying to get everything. I tried to do it twice, 3 times. It didn't work out. It's like I don't know. So what I had to do, I turn off my router, redo everything, restart the computer, restart everything. Eddie, how are you? We are back, thankfully. There was a back and forth, so I gotta go and get the stuff. I tried to check if there was anything interrupting. I'm not sure what it is. Now the internet seems to be fine. I'm not sure. Something happened there. Restart the whole thing, computer, restart the program, restart everything. So we're back. So I want to say, first and foremost, thank you very much for being here. Thank you for leaving the likes on the previous little couple minutes there. If you can, again, leave a like, I would appreciate it, so we can, we can push this video. But yeah, we already wasted what, 20 minutes or more, almost 25 minutes from the moment that I wanted to start this. So sorry for that to everyone. Thank you for being here still. All right, so today, definitely this week has been fantastic for sure. There's been a lot of collectibles to talk. There's a lot of stuff to talk about, as always. It always amazes me to see the state of collectibles. Like sometimes people say, hey, there's the collectibles are dying, everything is going away, the whole shebang. Everybody just had something to say, which I totally I respect people, in the sense that everybody has an opinion. By all means, share your opinion. But when people are like saying that the end is here, I'm like, you lose me at that, because honestly, there's no end to it. Like the more we think that this hobby is dying, the more the companies are proving to us that that's not the case, that there's always something for someone, whether we want to see it or not. There's always a market, there's always customers, there's always collectibles, there's always something celebrating an anniversary. Like there's always like a new anniversary for a movie or a franchise, a gaming franchise. So there's always anniversaries, and of course that's when we tend to kind of go back to those things and relive those moments. So that's when the companies really bring all the cool stuff, and today is no exception. Let me kind of give you an idea of the list. We have a big list today of things. I'm not sure if I'm gonna cover everything now that we wasted 25 minutes, but I'm gonna try to cover as much. Today I was doing some yard work. My son-in-law is doing some work here in the house, is doing some flooring, so it's been chaotic. I think that's probably the reason why everything went kind of south. But in any case, I want to talk about today. We're gonna start very early with the action figures. I like to cover action figures of all different prices. We're gonna look at the this week Hasbro had a big week. There's a couple pre-orders. If you're a fan of the real Ghostbusters, there's a new pre-order list. We all have Marvel Legends new stuff, Iron Man Retro Collection. They have some new stuff this week. The Transformers, they have a Studios series. There's pre-orders. We're gonna look at Transformers, but then I want to talk about also to another company, CCS Toys. They do a lot of mecha figures. We're gonna look at that today. Gilgal Toys, which is Wade Studios. They also release a Power Rangers Metal Pro Dino Megazord, big, huge figure. We're gonna look at it today. Mondo, of course, got Teela, and if you're a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle fan, this is the time. Definitely, it's a fantastic looking figure. Hot Toys released an Anakin Skywalker, so we're gonna look at that. Hey, Kenny, how are you? Iron Studios released today that 1/10 scale Batman Black version of that, based by the art of Eva Reese that they released some years ago. They released the black version in 1/10, so they reduced the scale. We're gonna look at it today. If we got time, we're gonna talk about some companies that produce figurines, particularly for anime and manga. We're gonna talk about Taito, Aniplex, Kotobukiya released some stuff this week, and particularly we're gonna look at that Invisible Woman Bishoujo 1/6 scale statue figure. It's celebrating the 15th anniversary of the Bishoujo line. Amazing 15 years of a lot of hitters, a lot of great things, a lot of fans. So we're gonna look at that today. We're gonna look at Gecco. We're gonna look at Dark Horse Direct. We're gonna look at Cartoon Kingdom, Soul Wing. We're gonna look at the April newsletter that just came from Tweeterhead. So there's some new reveals. We're gonna look at those reveals. I'm gonna look at other companies. I'm not sure if I'm gonna cover everything. There's so much in this list. Yuewen Animation, they released some as a quarter scale statue. We're gonna look at that. Spec Fiction, Piji Studios, PCS with that April O'Neil quarter scale statue. A lot of fans are excited for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. That collection continues to grow. We're gonna look at the Sideshow Batman PF. They revealed that we got the teaser of this statue that there's a lot of divided fans. A lot of people who do not like this new Batman. We're gonna look at it today. We're gonna try to look at it from a perspective of as a comic book aficionado, as a comic book fan. I want to look at it and see exactly what it is that Sideshow's doing with this one. We're gonna look at this Sideshow Wolverine Berserker that we talked about it last week. Is finally on pre-order. A lot of people are happy with it. A lot of people were not happy last week, but this week they're happy with it. So we'll see. We're gonna look at the stuff. It's a huge piece. I think the price is fantastic. We're gonna look at Prime One Studio, of course, and we're gonna finalize this with Elite Creatures Collectibles ECC. They release a Hellboy bus, life size. We're gonna look at it today. But I want to say to all of you, thank you very much for being here with me tonight. I hope that we have a fun night and we can talk about a lot of collectibles. You're all welcome to leave your comments to let me know how you feel about the stuff that we covered today. So without more preambles, let's get into it. So we are going to, first of all, I want to go to Big Bad Toy Store. We're gonna start again as I always do with the small stuff. So let me take you there, but ooh, so maybe you can see it now. Okay, I was looking at some of the statues. I like to always look at the stuff before I start commenting. Before I do that, ooh, I don't know if we are seeing that. Let me see if you can see it. Okay. All right, so I was having some issues there. So we're gonna look at Big Bad Toy Store. All right, we're in the right page. Okay, so Big Bad Toy Store always. I love to watch Big Bad Toy. Why? Because I had a lot of fun looking at all the action figures and the stuff they're doing. It is always amazing to me what these companies are doing. I like these action figures. Actually, this cool. I don't know, Legends of Dragonair Dragon Hunt. They look kind of cool. I love the design. Reminds me of Jack Kirby's designs in the 70s. Really cool. With all the stuff he did with the New Gods and of course the Eternals. That's how it looks to me, which is great. But in any case, on this list, I want to take you actually to let's see if we can look at it right there, the real Ghostbusters. Let me see if we can look at it. I want to talk about the real Ghostbusters because now we have on Big Bad Toy Store these figures that you see right here. These are the Kenner Classics Fright features, which to me, it brings a lot of great memories. As much as I like the original, you know, the original figures for the real Ghostbusters, my favorite figures of all that line was the Fright features. They're the ones that I remember the most playing with. I love those toys. I remember because my parents gave it to me on a very special Christmas, so it always had this value to me. I love these figures. They are my favorites in the whole line. And they are being re-released. And I already saw a few of them. I haven't seen them all. I saw Winston and I saw Ray Stans at my local Target. I'm not sure they still have it. I didn't pick them up. I still gotta pick them up. They came out just recently. It was just a time edition or like time event where they only had it for a certain amount of time first than anybody else. This deal that Hasbro has with Target and all that, I definitely don't like those deals that do with Target. Target is not my favorite store. Like some people love Target. I'm not crazy about Target, never been. But in any case, they had them. They had them there, and but Target is always like hard to find stuff. Like sometimes they don't have it. It's gone quickly, so you never keep. You know, it's hard to keep them. But of course, now they're available not only through the other retailers, they probably gonna end up at a Walmart as well. And I seen that they're also on Hasbro Pulse. You can pre-order directly, order directly from Hasbro. They're about to release, I think, next month or within the next month or so. So, but yeah, I have a great memories. $15.99 here at Big Bad Toy Store. I love these figures. Again, I have a lot of great memories with them. Here you can see. The only thing I noticed with this, and I've seen a few reviews already for the people that already picked them up at Target, and they're very, you know, like compare them. They're so comparable. They're so close. It's like the differences are so minimal with the originals. It's so minimal. The only thing I'm noticed with, the only one that I was a bit disappointed with Winston, because the back of his neck is white, and that's actually, as you can see in the picture, that's how he comes out now. But the original was brown, was the color of his skin. So I don't know why they miss on that one. I saw some reviews pointing that out, which is kind of weird. It breaks the thing. But I love that they chose, of course, the art is so close to the original toy. So to me, it's like, I normally, when I get these figures, I get two. I get one to get out of the box and just play, kind of display, bring those memories. I just want to keep in the box. That's how I do it. That's how I did with the first waves with the others. This race stance is one of my favorites on the two. I always loved this one. Looks so cool. To me, this is like, it's so cool to see after how many years since this came out? 35 years? Close to 40? 30, yeah, 35 or so. Man, are they still out there? You know, like they still producing him, and now they Kaneki classics. You know, that's awesome in my opinion. It's so awesome to see like how far we had come with these figures. And you know, like sometimes people say, well, I feel old. I don't feel old. I just feel like a kid again, you know, like I never. Some people kind of like always count their years or the time, and they feel like, okay, now this and that. I don't. Now here is, of course, the other one for Peter Venkman. This was actually my favorite of all with race stands. The two were my two favorites. And even the toys, everything, it's amazing to be able to see these figures back in line. And I'm hoping that this trend continues of retro toys, to see more of the old school stuff. I would like to see MASH. I would like to see, I don't know, there's so many lines back in the day that I grew up playing with those toys, and it brings so many good memories. I don't know which are your favorite toy lines back in the day, but there's so many. Here you can see I already have the others, which are great, the originals. I do have the Retro Ecto one. I have one in the package. It hasn't come out of the package yet. I was thinking about getting a second package. I definitely need. I do have the Stay Puff. I have two of them, one out of the box, one in the box. The same with, you know, I've been doing that with the Retro Slimer. But yeah, I'm super excited. The other one that I would like for them to come out in the second wave is have Janine. Because Janine was also another part of this collection. And there were other, of course, ghosts and things that they had during that time. So we'll see if they get that far. I'm still hoping for them to do the Firehouse. That would be fantastic. So yeah, the Regal Ghostbusters by Kaneki Classics. You can find them here. You can find them again in many different places. You can go to Hasbro Pulse as well. All right, so now I want to look at Marvel Legends. Let me take you there. Here you can see we're going to talk about the Hasbro Marvel Legends series action figures here. These are the new pre-orders on the retro collection, the Iron Man retro collection. I do have the first, the one that was exclusive initially just to Hasbro. I think it was exclusive to Hasbro Pulse. I have that. I have two, one to be out of the box, one in the package, and then of course I have also the War Machine. But now they continue this collection, and they're doing other characters there, which, man, they look really fantastic. Particularly, like, you can see Whiplash. Man, he looks terrific. Man, I love that portrait and the sculpt that they used for this guy. They did a really nice job with this more classic look. Very cool. This is a very nice figure. This is an A figure in my opinion. The music is going up and down. Ooh, sorry for that. Let me kind of bring it down. Little distracting. Okay, so we're gonna bring it down. Thank you for letting me know, Eddie. So I just brought it down so it's not as distracting this time around. Okay. It's not sure exactly why it does that. I think it's just the songs or whatever that picks. In any case, we're looking at Whiplash. And I think this is a fantastic figure. The thing is this, they're reusing the same package. But thank you for letting me know, Eddie. They're reusing the same package of they use for the original figures, which is great. Or this, I love that. In some way, I feel like I'm not sure if I want to get two of these, because I already have the original packages of Iron Man. I have one. I have, you know, I'm not sure if I want to keep two. Maybe, maybe not, because you know, some people may like to have everything in package as well. There's collectors that love to have figures in package, just to have it like that. But to be honest with you, the art in the back it's okay. It's just image of the figure, so it's not like oh my god, it's super necessary, but I'm sure some people will. I think, but I will definitely get at least one for Whiplash. Also, we got Count Nefaria. I think that's another hitter in my opinion. This is another fantastic figure here. Love that portrait. Very classic look of Nefaria. It looks super great. Fantastic body mold. And it looks really good. That is a crazy portrait. Very nicely done. I will tell you one thing. Marvel Legends has been doing fantastic portraits as of lately, and they're just doing it great. So that is another one. You know, the only thing, of course, the price is $26 for this figure. So it makes sense that the price kept going up for this figure, but that's across the board everywhere you go. Now, you also have these different variations of Iron Man Model 09. I'm not sure if I'm going to get this, the Iron Man. I love the classic. This is great too, but they're going to have, it seems like they're going to add a lot of this different, so you can build an army of different Iron Mans within this collection. It's kind of cool. Too bad that this one doesn't have an interchangeable portrait. I like the original, so I think this is might be a pass for me. Because they definitely, even though they call it retro, a lot of these are not really retro. They got this other model. So to me, it's like just the packaging itself, but not necessarily the figures that I would like to add there. It doesn't really have a retro feel, the Iron Man Model 20, in my opinion. So it seems like that's what they're going to do. So far, I think those are the two that I might not be interested on. But there's another one here that tells us of Suspense, Marvel Legends, the Retro Collection, the Iron Man Model 01. I think this one definitely is going to, I like this one. I think the sculpt is very it's nice. Very cool. And the best part, it comes with a portrait. Like, that's kind of cool. There's a reused portrait they have used in other Iron Man, so it's not like new one. But that is really, really cool. They used that on the, what was that on the anniversary, Marvel Legends anniversary, like 25-year anniversary or something like that. I think that's the one they use, or the 75 Marvel, or the 60 years Marvel, something like that. It's a reused portrait. And I think that perhaps my favorite of all the figures that came out is She-Hulk. That is a very nice looking She-Hulk for sure. That portrait is on point. Nice body they use for this mold. On this body, I think it's a new body. This is a very different one. Probably they're gonna be reusing this mold for years to come for other characters. But of course, she's gonna be a lot bigger, taller, and she looked great. The whole portrait is great. The body's great. She looks fantastic. So this is definitely a win for me. And on this one, I'm thinking that I'm definitely gonna get two. Just one in the package. Too bad that it doesn't have it, you know, it's within this collection instead of having her own packaging. That would have been fantastic in my opinion. But she looks fantastic here. So yeah, I think Marvel Legends, these are the ones. Of course, there were other things that came out of Marvel Legends. Of course, we're going to see now with Wolverine, they have a couple of things. The Wolverine, Deadpool, they have other things coming out, but we're not, you know, they're always gonna have stuff, anything that is coming, anytime they have any new movie, they're gonna come up with this. But this retro collection is I love the retro stuff always. So this Marvel Legends on the retro style, retro packaging, they look fantastic in my opinion. So kudos to Hasbro for taking care of that one. Now, while I have you here, I'm gonna show you first. We're gonna look at Transformers, and the reason I want to show you Transformers is because we have new figures. We got new figures for the Studio Series, and they're okay, cool. The one that really caught my attention, the one that I'm more interested in, is this one, Dinobot Swoop. This is, of course, based on the Studio 86, on the 86 film. So the Dinobots, this completes the Dinobots, finally, all the characters. I don't have them all. I know next year they're planning to re-release Grimlock. I think I missed on that one. I have the other guys. This one that I don't have, and then Swoop. So, okay, I get those. I'll get those eventually. But this completes that, and a lot of people are excited for this one. Very cool. This already sold out at Hasbro Plus. Yeah, She-Hulk cut my eye out of everyone. Yeah, I think that's the only one that I really care about. The other ones I don't mind. Maybe the bad guys. But that definitely She-Hulk is going to be a standout figure. But here with Swoop, I like this one. Of course, I love the robot form on this one. The packaging, don't care much about it always. You know, it's open packaging. But in any case, this is going to complete the collection, at least all the Dinobots, which is great. Here, still on pre-order. It's going to release sometime in August. If you come to Hasbro Pulse, let me show you there. Hasbro Pulse. Here you can see all the different pre-orders they have. Of course, the stuff that we just saw now. But if we look at of course, Hasbro has all the new G.I. Joe figures. They release a lot of G.I. Joe. This collection keeps growing. Here you can see all the Studio Zero figures. This already sold out, the pre-order. It's so sold out. A lot of people are so excited. You know, this is the thing. There's a lot of characters within the Studio 8 series, based on the 86 film, that needs to be done. We need a new Optimus Prime. We need characters. They need a new Megatron. They're talking about that next year we're going to have a Megatron just based on the film. So we need the classic stuff. And I think this sells better than the others. You can see the others are from other parts of the series. Also, this one sold out. This is the new Voyager, the movie Autobot Blaster and Eject. This is a new version. Well, it's the same remold, redone, repackaged. There are a couple of changes that did to the one that came out from the Kingdom series. And I gotta be honest with you, of course, this is better. There's a lot of changes. This already sold out too. Hopefully I can find it at the store. I see this Junkion. This also, I saw it at Walmart just the other day, and I need to grab it to continue that collection. So these are the classics, and the classics always sell better than the others, in my opinion. The other ones just don't. So yeah, you know, looking forward to that. It's very cool. Now there's one here, Studio Series, that is only here. It's exclusive to the website, and this is one that I'm personally really looking forward to. Let's see if we can have it there. I saw it. I don't see it right now. Let me look at it for you. Just gonna look at Shockwave. Right there, Shockwave. This is Transformer Generations comic edition, only exclusive to the website. This is going to release in August, but this is fantastic. It's $40. It's more expensive. This is comes in a special packaging. As far as I know, this packaging is based on. This is actually based on the comic book that came out in 1986, issue number 5 of Transformers by Marvel. A very iconic cover. And you can see standing walking like this. That's where they're basing this. So this is another one. Now that they're celebrating the 40th anniversary, 40th anniversary of Transformers. So definitely they're going all out with all the celebration and trying to bring a lot of figures this year that we're going to see. So let me show you actually Facebook, because the pictures here are not that great. Oh no, that's not what I want. I'm gonna show you Facebook, and I'll show you Hasbro Pulse. Here, of course, you can come to Facebook. You can see the pictures better. All the stuff that they have. They got a lot of stuff for, of course, always Star Wars. I don't keep up with their toys with Star Wars, unfortunately. There's so many. I lost track of them. I used to collect them as a kid, but as an adult, never necessarily. I like more like the Hot Toy stuff for that. But let me see here. You can see the Fright features. Amazing looking figures. Let me see. I saw it. I'm gonna take you there. Right there, Shockwave. Based on the comic, you can see on the background their comic book art where they're basing it. This is very cool. I know that also there's one that probably is going to be released later is King Grimlock that is coming also from the comics. It's coming very, very soon. It's going to be on pre-order. It looks fantastic. I'm definitely going to grab this. It's a very nice figure based on the toy. You have to read those comics, just like classic comics. I'm hoping that Marvel get to do an omnibus at some point. They've been doing stuff with Hasbro now. The stuff that we're seeing, the Micronauts, what was that? The other one, ROM. They did that. I have that. The omnibuses waiting for Micronauts to come out. I think it's coming out next week. The first omnibus, so people are excited. So I'm guessing that we will see Transformers coming back, because some of that license has to do with Hasbro. So I'm sure that it's coming back at some point. We're gonna see those comics. It will be fantastic to see the G.I. Joe comics, to see the Transformers comics. Of course, IDW lost the license with them. They were carrying the license for a long time. IDW lost it just a few months back at the end of the year, last year. So we know that now Marvel has a chance to get back those licenses, and why not release the omnibuses? I'm looking forward to that, because those are classic comics. Very different era from the 80s. I love a lot of the stuff that was released then. But yeah, this looks fantastic. Love the art. Technically, this has been done before. Some couple of changes. It's a new paint deco and all. but in my opinion, it looks really great within the Generations collection, so it's gonna be fantastic in my opinion. So yeah, this is what Hasbro's been doing. Definitely Hasbro's been killing it as always. You know, I don't really tend to talk much about Hasbro, but you know, when they do something great, then we have to praise them for what they do. So this is what we're doing today. All right, so let me take you now to Sideshow, because we're gonna talk about the next company. And again, I want to say thank you very much for all who are watching this. Thank you for taking time. Appreciate your support. Don't forget to leave a like and to comment. Let me know what you're watching. I'm always here to answer questions. So here a lot of stuff we're going to cover today. It's a lot we're going to cover today. But here, I want to talk about Evangelion. If you're a fan of Evangelion, this classic anime, Unit 1 final model. This is $355. Scale is it's like 11 point something, almost 12 inches tall. So it's within the 1/6 scale. It's not a 1/6 scale, of course, because this is a big mecha. But this is within the scale of the size of a Hot Toys figure. So that gives you an idea how tall this is. This is going to be $355. CCS Toys, also, you can find this also at Big Bad Toy Store. This company specializes in doing this type of things. I think this is the only thing they have at Sideshow. Sideshow now, of course, is getting into partnership with a lot of these companies, so they're doing more stuff. This is very poseable. Again, 11.4, very tall, comes with a lot of different changeouts, accessories, effects, weapons, a stand. So yeah, definitely you like this kind of thing. It's kind of cool. It's not cheap. It has, of course, some die-cast elements and stuff. It's some plastic elements, all of that, but it's very, very nice model, all put together, and it looks really cool. That's a nice pose. And just to give you an idea, here at Big Bad Toy Store, because they also have it here. Here you can see other things that they have done. They have another pre-order like this one. This is a Getter Robo Armageddon Mortal Mind Shin Getter. This is another one if you're into that. This one I think is within the same scale. No, actually it's a little smaller version, only like 10 inches. But that is also another figure. So this is what this company does. There's a lot of companies in China and Asia that they do a lot of these figures. They're very, very popular. It's not a huge piece standing, but yeah, that gives you an idea that a lot of these mecha elements. So this is another company. It definitely is. They're very new. The Gunbuster 35th anniversary Mortal Mind Gunbuster. This is another figure. Very nice. You can see the detail. So you're into mecha stuff, into the Japanese anime manga stuff like this. These anime shows are, in my opinion, are terrific. I grew up watching a lot of them, of course. Starting with Messenger C back in the day. So I'm, you know, of course, the evolution of all this mecha has been something that, you know, it's definitely out there. It's a fan base out there, and they're very cool when you see them on display. So this is another one. This is what they have here. But yeah, this CCS Toys, they have it right there at Sideshow. Looks fantastic. This Evangelion figure, very cool. So we'll see what happens. Are you covering J&D Catwoman? I will. Is it coming? I don't think it's coming out this week, or is it? I think it will come out. I see some of the stuff, and yeah, we will cover it, but I don't think I'm gonna cover it today. We kept seeing the teaser, so once it goes on pre-order, I will talk about it. I'm not sure that, you know, right now they have it only as a teaser. We know that it's coming, so we haven't seen much. But once it comes out, I'm definitely gonna cover it. They released a video. Yeah, I haven't really watched it. I haven't seen the opportunity. I haven't seen the chance. So I'm guessing that I will kind of cover it maybe sometime. I will cover it when we go more, probably next week. So we'll see it. So but yeah, I will cover it when the time comes, and I'll look into it. And then we'll discuss it. It probably will be one of the highlights for next week. For next weekend, which, by the way, I'm gonna be here next week, but the following weekend I'm not gonna be. I'm celebrating my anniversary with my wife, so we're going on a mini vacation. So definitely we're gonna be away. But yeah, next weekend I'll be here doing this video. But in any case, let's go back to now that we covered this figure. I want to take you to another company, and I'm gonna be here actually at Big Bad Toy Store. It's Gilgal. Toys, which is actually part of Way Studios. Way Studios and Gilgal Toys are the same company. Gilgal is just what they do, the action figures. Way Studios is what they do with the X statues. So they're the same company. But here you can see they released this mighty. They've been talking about it for quite some time. I've seen the announcements, of course, social media. They're talking about the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Metal Pro Dino Megazord action figure. This is $700. But this is a huge figure when you look at the size and the dimensions of this. It's 20 inches tall. It's pretty large. So it's just technically half a meter right there. And this figure has a lot of die-cast elements, a lot of different parts, movable parts. So you're a big fan of them. Of course, it's amazing to think that they're celebrating 30th anniversary now of the Power Rangers. I was never really too much into Power Rangers. I was a bit too old for it. I still watched it, but I wasn't like crazy about it. It didn't really blow my mind at that part of my life. That point in my life, I was just in the 90s. I was just a little older. You know, my toys were definitely the 80s, and a lot of the cartoons that I watched are 80s. Versus in the 90s, I was a bit more into other things, and video games particularly. But here you can see it looks fantastic. I will tell you the figure. I'm not sure if it has any type of light-up features. You can see this Power Rangers right here. They're actually mini figurines. They're sculpted. They're little statues that they're gonna come as a display with this. That it looks really cool. And you can see right here the stand, the base, the sword, the hands, the parts that come with it. It's a huge figure, no doubt about it. I know Spec Fiction is going to have it at some point. They don't have it yet. I didn't see it at Spec Fiction, but you have to kind of keep an eye on that. And I'm going to give you an idea more or less of the scale. I'm coming to Facebook. So Way Studios. I'm seeing Way Studios. Right there, Way Studios Collectibles and Gilgal Toys. This is a company that is growing, but of course they have a lot of this Transformers, so they do a lot of stuff. I think this company has a lot of potential, a lot of future. Their statues look amazing, all the mecha stuff. But here you can see this video that they have here, just to give you an idea of the scale of this figure. It's very tall, taller than some of their the statues that they produce. And those are the figures, as you can see. Just to give you an idea of the scale. So definitely, if you are into Power Rangers, if you are into the figures, when you look at this, don't think that it's a small figure. It's a pretty large figure, nice detail, and I think definitely those little figures are gonna look amazing. So that gives you an idea what this company's up to, and it's finally on pre-order. You can come and find it here at at Big Bad Toy Store, and also look at their statues. Definitely, they have some huge statues, a lot of mecha stuff. Amazing looking stuff. So yeah, good thing for them. So that's what they're producing now. Okay, now let me take you now. Well, let's go to Mondo. Mondo shop. Thank you again for everyone for watching. Don't forget to leave a like. In any case, Teela is here. Oh, I love this poster. The poster right there with Better Ray Bill. That looks amazing. But Teela, it's on pre-order. This is a time edition. It's only this couple more days till next week, and this is it. This is the time edition. That means that it comes with all the extras. I'm sure they're gonna have a regular version down the road, but this is $250, which is a great price within the standard. Emiliano Santa Lucia, he is involved as an artist. He's been doing all the part of this line. Florian Bertmer, Mark Bristow, Tommy Hodges, all these people have been involved in productions of all the previous figures. They have done a fantastic job for sure. But here you can see everything that comes with this. I think she looks fantastic. This figure looks amazing. Very nice figure, as you can see. Love that she has that spear. Classic look. It has a different portraits. One is more normal, more serious, more calm. Then you got the one that is more ready for battle. I like that one. Then the one that has it looks more like a modern version of it. I'm not sure if this is a homage to the TV series now, the TV show Netflix. The extra hands, he has the shield, he has the sword, has the sheath for the sword. Of course, if you want the more classic, of course, as he came out in the mini comics, all that, you have that too, which kind of like very cool with the serpent thing. And this is, of course, when she's portraying the original comic book, but also the original toy, which, she was in many ways You know, the whole comic book is another thing. You know, it's a lot of things to talk about. You know, and all of the things that they did for the comic book, not necessarily they were translated into the animation and of course, but the toys. But this figure looks fantastic in my opinion. It looks great. You can see 11.5 inches tall, 1/6 scale. Very nice. As a cake, as the cake. But it looks fantastic, and these pictures always sell it. Although I will tell you one thing, a lot of times with the Mondo figures, the ones I have for the Masters of the Universe, they are really hard sometimes to display. The articulation is a little stiff. So once you find the perfect pose, you keep them like that. I like this pose for sure. I think this is the one that more classic pose. So it's not like you're gonna do crazy poses with them, but they look fantastic. I love the portrait. The paint job they did on this prototype looks really nice. They look terrific. You know, He-Man back there, Man at Arms. That is a nice one too. Another nice pose. I like that. It just, it's really cool. Oh, cool. This is the the way to display it. And this is, I think, part of that, the idea of you get the time edition, you get all the extra parts. Very nice. And as always, they do amazing photos here. Oh, this is a nice photo. She's fighting Skeletor. Very cool with the staff. Oh, that portrait right there. Fighting it. It's a really nice portrait just for those type of poses. I like this one. Look at that. Is a huge piece, man. It's huge. To the point that I'm some people love it. And I gotta be honest with you, I'm not necessarily like, you know, it's huge. But I would have preferred for Beastman to be a little more smaller than as they made him to be, you know. But that is, of course, they decided to go that route. But that portrait, again, the paint job is on point. Excellent. Oh, of course, this is taken actually from the mini comics. This is that particular scene in the mini comics. That is super cool. Very nice. Man, this collection is growing very nicely. Love these figures. Those lips are red, man. The painter did a fantastic job with the prototype, but as long as it comes out as this, it would be a killer of a figure. Very nice. Even her skin, the color tone of her skin looks really nice. And as you can see, she does have some cleavage, so that's a selling point, I guess. You gotta sell it. But yeah, look at that. Yeah, this man is huge, and they have like 64 photos here. Amazing. So many different photos to look at. Ponytail. Actually, that more modern version of her is growing on me, but definitely this is based on the in the comics and also based on the Netflix show. But I do like the classic for me all the way. Very cool, man. They have the different angles. Definitely, they did a fantastic job, but there's no doubt about it. Here with the sheet, unsheeted, you know, now the sword inside, it looks really nice. They did such a fantastic job with it. The sword looks nice. The detail on that shield looks really nice. The detail on the sword looks fantastic. Nice job. Definitely, I would say just don't miss out on this if you're collecting this. Now, the base is the same base that they have used also for He-Man. I'm not a fan. I think Skeletor had a much better one. And this is actually the original toy. And I didn't know that they have this comparison with the original toy. Look at that. That is super, super cool. All right, my friends. I will tell you this. And as a time edition, it seems like they don't have no exclusive parts. Everything is part of it. So I'm sure they have a more streamlined version at some point, but for the time being, they have this is everything that comes with Teela. I think she's terrific. Very cool. I would say Mondo again doing a fantastic job, releasing some really cool killer stuff. So kudos to them for doing such a thing. All right, so let me take you now to Sideshow. Sideshow's offering me all kind of things right now. A lot of every time you go to the website, they have a new thing. But in any case, I want to show you now. There we go. What's new? Where is what's new? All right, let's go this. I want to take you to the new thing that Hot Toys just released, which in this case, I see people divided for it. I think it's fine, but of course I understand why people get so divided with things. Anakin Skywalker, this is based on the Clone Wars, on the Ahsoka. Well, they call it Clone Wars, but technically this is from Ahsoka. This is his appearance on the show recently. The actor, of course, came and portrayed the part. And I will tell you this, $265, fantastic price as always. Hot Toys keeps it real with the prices. They're not going crazy. The portrait, it's perfection in my opinion. I know a lot of people don't like the expression. Maybe they could have gone with a different expression because people say it looks more like a sad expression. But I think this is the expression that he had in Ahsoka. Like, he had this expression. I don't know if it was of course, he's older. And as an actor, he doesn't, and he still looks good. But, you know, of course, the movie came out how long? So he doesn't look like he used to look back then when he was just a kid. Of course, he looks more like a man, for sure. It's a man now. But I will tell you this. To me, the portrait looks on point. It looks like him. I think that's one of the things that I have with the show is that they try to portray him more like a wise man, of course, because of course Ahsoka is seeing him. You haven't seen the show. It's more like his astral form that she's looking at. She's looking at him now as a master in the astral plane, and he's still trying to teach her. You know, still kind of give him some of the things that Ahsoka needs to know, which I think is this part is nice that they're doing that. But in any case, he's more wise and has more mature feel and wiser look. So I think that's what they're going for on this. That's the reason they chose this portrait, to go into the more wiser Master Jedi thing rather than going for, like, you know, the crazy cuckoo guy that, you know, became Darth Vader. But in any case, I think the figure looks really nice. Yeah, like some people say, it could have come with two different portraits. I get it. A more you know, the more cocky one, maybe, so if you want to portray him like that. But, you know, Hot Toys doesn't make money by just producing a deluxe version that has everything. They're going to produce different versions of things because that's how they make their money. You know, if not, Hot Toys would be out of business. If they've made the perfect figure for all time, then nobody wants anything else. They just want that. So Hot Toys has always been very smart in producing different variants of things and selling it to you. And it has a rolling eyeball, something that they've been doing a lot of the figures, which is fantastic in my opinion. This is a new thing. It's tall. But I think the portrait, they did a fantastic job in recreating the actor in Ahsoka, you know, in the film. The way he was then, and the eyes, they look fantastic. The portrait looks fantastic. It's on point. Whoever did this portrait, whether people don't like the expression or not that was chosen, it is terrific. You cannot say that he's not the actor that was in the face that they did here, the recreation of the face of the actor, it's just perfect. I don't see anything imperfection. Sometimes you're gonna see people saying, oh, it doesn't look like this because of the nose, or because of that, or because of the eyes, or because of the hair, or because of the cheeks, or whatever. This time around, nobody's saying anything. I think everybody kind of knows that. People are not happy because of the expression. That's all. But not everyone. A lot of people are really excited with this figure, and I think it's getting pre-order, and I think it's gonna do so well. As you can see, it's a very cool, unique. I like what they did with the hair. It looks more natural like that. It looks very realistic. It is a plastic, or, you know, what Hot Toys uses for their sculpts. But it looks as good as anything that is made out of silicone. So that's another thing, that sometimes people think that having the silicone figures, like going to J&D or other companies, Queen Studios or whatever, you're gonna get the best result or the best likeness. Companies like Hot Toys are proving that that's not the case, that you can actually find you can get that perfection, or at least that closeness, or really get some likeness so really good into a lot of these figures and sell it to you for like only $300 or less. So that is great. Companies doing that. Here you can see this scenario with the young Ahsoka. It's in the show. You know, Rex right there. So it's pretty cool. Yes, I think the light up feature also on that comes now with the lightsabers. Really, this one comes with effects, which is great. Very nice figure, I would say. There's no reason for me to say anything wrong with it. I think they did a fantastic job with it. So lightsaber deflecting effects, Skywalker right there. The deflecting effects actually go there. You can attach, it seems. Very cool figure. Comes with everything. Price is, in my opinion, good. So Hot Toys again doing a fantastic job with these figures, which is great. All right, my friends. So this is actually the end of the action figures, which is great. 30 minutes, we did it in a good time. I'm thankful for really being with me on this one. I know that we lost 30 minutes, but I'm happy that we're doing this. So now let's get into the statues. Let's go there. Let's start with the smaller stuff, of course. And I want to take you here at Sideshow again. I'm going to look at this. I'm going to take you to this new release, the Batman Black version, deluxe version. This is the miniature version of the 1/3 scale statue based on the art of Ivaris. That version, actually, that statue that was produced maybe 5 years ago, that statue or more, that statue has 3 different versions. There is the blue, the classic one, which is the blue version, the blue and of course in gray. And it's still a very tactical suit. Ivaris did a very tactical suit. And then you got the black version. But also there was one that it was kind of like a patina version that is more limited. I think it was only available in Brazil. But that version was a more like a bronze statue. I think that was the 3rd one that they released. More limited. That is hard to come by. That is the more collectible perhaps because of how rare it is. So there were 3 different versions. But now that they released it, it was a very popular statue, comes with a lot of different switch outs. So now they got this one. However, this one doesn't come the switch outs that the original had. Of course, this is something that they have done with everything that they're shrinking now into all the figures that they're bringing and to make them smaller. These figures are, you know, have less things. You know, there's a reduction, but also they're taking some of the switch outs, so just more basic statues, which I'm okay with that. You know, as long as, you know, it's still at 110. There was last year at CCXP, which is the big convention, the comic book convention in Brazil. They got the small version, the 110 of the blue. They had some for sale over there of the classic one, of the original one as a 110. Not sure if we're going to get that here at some point because they haven't done it yet. I'm not sure they may have that version at some point. They released the black version here first in the United States, and it's a Sideshow exclusive. Not sure if actually during the Comic Cons, during that time, or when they have the Sideshow Con, they might have the blue version also. You know, sometimes they do that. But this is the black version. And as the black version is, again, a reduction, but the base is very similar to the way it was with the large one. I would say I'm not necessarily a fan of the black version. I prefer the blue and gray, and perhaps most people would prefer that classic one. Some people may like this one. It's only 300 pieces, as you can see. Oh, 500 pieces. It's a limited edition black version. I'm not sure how many they're going to do for the other one. So maybe this is more collectible for that purpose. If you really like that one, if you don't have the space for a 1/3, if you're okay without the little switch out parts too, which at this scale, you don't really need that many switch outs, really. I think this is not bad. Came out of nowhere for sure. And it's cool that they're doing that. I'm looking forward to more of those. I hope that ARTFX keeps reducing that. I did pre-order the Doomsday versus Superman statue, the 110. I haven't done the same. I'm not sure. I'm still debating the Wolverine versus Juggernaut. I'm still debating it, but not sure yet. But I did pre-order that one, and once I get, of course, the Doomsday versus Superman, then I'll know for sure if I want to get the Juggernaut, because I want to see how it is in person, this reduction, and if what sacrifices are made. The sacrifices have to be made, particularly in textures when you have to go that small. But I want to make sure that the 110 looks fantastic. The 1/6 was fantastic. It wasn't perfect on the Batman for the Superman versus Doomsday wasn't perfect. So there were a couple of things that were there. Hopefully with the 110 now those things are perfected. We'll see what happens then. But yeah, this is what our series released today. It's only available at Sideshow, so keep that in mind. $255. All right, so this is what we look at Iron Studios. Now, while we are here at Sideshow, let me show you. Now we're still looking at the small stuff. We're going to look actually to the 1/7 scale figurines. Let me show you Taito. this Japanese company that, you know, famous for a lot of those video games in the day, but also they produce action figures. They're known for that, and they've been producing a lot of these figurines, this PVC ABS figurines for My Hero Academia. This is a new one. This is Nejire Hado Wave. If you're a fan of My Hero Academia, it looks fantastic. It really caught my attention, just the, you know, the colorfulness, how colorful this is, and also some of that, you know, it's not a resin, but that PVC, like kind of like it gets translucent as the edge, you know, of the edge of the hair. It's really a nice one for sure. Very, very colorful. I would say that and it has also swappable head and arms, so you can come up with different, you know, presentation for that. I do like it. It's very nice. You know, I'm not necessarily, I don't collect this type of figurines. I do like the female form, you know, that's for sure, in a lot of these figurines. But also, and definitely this, it has the swappable head parts are very, very nice. But also, you know, I do love the art, and I do like, you know, My Hero Academia. I watched the show too, so it's cool. I like the way that they did it there with these figurines. They're fantastic. It's nice that Sideshow's been carrying these figures, because there's a big fan base out there. A lot of people, they love this show, so very cool. Very nice, this pose. And the hair looks really great. So the artists they were involved in this figurine and this figure, I would call it figurine because technically a statue at this scale, 1/7. Sometimes people have this argument about what is a statue, what is a figurine. And I will tell you, they're pretty much the same. Figurines, for the most part, are smaller versions of things. You can say that at 1/10 scale statues are figurines, but and anything that, to me, that goes above that, the 1/10, is getting to the statue realm. Although they're still statues, it's just the figurines have always been a lot smaller in comparison, sometimes even smaller than 1/10. But yeah, you can call it figurine, you can call it statue. It's a collectible figure, that's how they call it here. Sideshow's been naming it. So Taito released this one. Now there's another company here. You can see there's two figures for this. This is Aniplex. Aniplex is another company, as you know. They do a lot of anime shows, a lot of those very weird, kind of like, on the other hand, a little bit weird, like girls kind of in risky situations. That's what Aniplex does, but they do all sort of different things. They also do action figures. They do statues or figurines, and they have this other collectible figure. This is Ryza styled summer adventure version. This is from the what is that? The Atelier Ryza game franchise, RPG game franchise. I'm not necessarily a big fan. I think this is Tecmo that does this. I will tell you honestly, I'm not a big RPG fan. Never been. RPGs kind of bore me, so I don't play them that much. I do play some RPGs, but for the most part, they bore me. I prefer Western RPGs because they feel more serious. Like I love the Mass Effect series. I think it's perfect. I like those type of things, but the Japanese, the JRPGs can be a little bit weird for me. But I think this Aniplex, just to give you an idea what they are producing, this is a 1/7 scale figure. Again, Sideshow's been carrying a lot of these figures. They look fantastic. There's definitely a fan base, and definitely that's more for people who like this kind of thing. But to be honest, there's a lot of people they collect them, but also they do have a strong pull with female collectors. A lot of female collectors, particularly younger collectors, they love these figurines, and I've seen some fantastic collections out there with a lot of these figurines. You might think that sometimes it's guys or young men that are actually collecting this type of things, but actually no, women are collecting a lot of this, and they're a big part of the collectible market. Like I was looking the other day at anime conventions. They were talking about numbers. I saw numbers that were running out, and see how many people go to anime conventions, and they say that actually anime conventions are in average 55% of attendees are actually female. In comic book conventions, it's getting to the point that it's 50-50. It used to be a time where it used to be a lot less, but nowadays the attendees that come, let's say, to Sideshow, to Sideshow, to, let's say, to San Diego Comic Con is turning into 50-50, same number. But that number, independent of the type of convention events, the numbers can vary. With males are higher, but they say that with anime is getting to a number of 55 to almost 60% of women attend the anime. So that definitely, the women are a big, strong pull for anything that has to do with manga, with anime. They are actually big fans. So yeah, these figures are great in the sense that they come for this market, $205. There is, you know, you have to respect that. You know, sometimes I feel that a lot of times collectors think that they only, particularly because I'm my age group, people think that people only care about Marvel comics or Star Wars figures or whatever. But no, the statues comes in all different shapes and forms, and there's a lot of fans out there for all these different collections. Now, we have this is Power. This is another character for Chainsaw Man, another show that is really very popular, and also the manga. This is, again, also by Aniplex. $320. This is also 1/7 scale. He has a little more detail. That's what is priced a little more. And this is another character for that. And I think the base is kind of interesting. The concept, this fight mode. Another PVC statue with a lot of great detail. I will tell you this. This is another thing that sometimes what I love about this companies with the PVC companies is that the PVC gives an opportunity to do on display things that are hard to do when you're doing resin. You know, particularly any translucent effects, they can come up with that with the in this case with PVC ABS. They can get it done easily. So it's great. A lot of companies, you know, sometimes people have this idea that only resin matters, but no. At the end of the day, the statues are, I even heard people saying that statues are only made out of resin and the others are made out of PVC or in this case, ABS, those are figurines, which is a very wrong way to see it. It's not, because figurines can be done for anything. It could be, you know, anything else, porcelain or whatever. It could be anything. A figurine can be done for any kind of thing, even a pewter figurine. You know, there's so many materials. I will tell you this, I love that the PVC can be managed in a way that they can do all sort of things in this type of more action poses. And I applaud companies like Sume and many of those companies that they actually use both in order to get this stuff done. Like companies in different realms, not only Sume, not only for the anime, you can see companies like Fears for Figures doing it. They combine this mixture, this technically mixed media, when they mix all these different materials to create the statues that we love. And at the end of the day, you're not going to be playing with these statues. You're going to just display them and you're going to be looking at them. So if the material works, why not? But this is a interesting looking statue. Again, this is Aniplex. So just keep an eye on them. They're at Sideshow now. All right. So let me take you now to talking about Japanese companies with a history with figurines and PVC statues. You cannot discount Kotobukiya. Kotobukiya, of course, is a company that has been in this business for a very long time. They've been doing such an amazing thing. And I want to start first, before we get into the anime stuff, I want to show you this Emperor Palpatine. This is of the ARTFX Plus, I think that's what this is the ARTFX Plus, so it's within the 1/10 scale. And this Emperor Palpatine looks terrific. And I will tell you, in my experience over the years with dealing with Kotobukiya produces really amazing PVC stuff. Very lifelike, very well done. And this Palpatine looks very, very well done. So again, if you're already collecting this line, collecting all the figures and the 1/10 statues that they have, you know, this is great. You can see Palpatine is removable, so you can have only the chair. Very well done, very nice pose. It does come, not sure if it has a light up feature. Like I'm looking at that light. I think it's just the reflection they use just for the photo to make it look, I think more like more pale. Maybe it's a little more translucent paint in his face, which is a nice effect if that's what they went for the paint. Kind of like the Blu-ray. Not Blu-ray, the ultraviolet colors and stuff, that they're bright. Very nice chair, very cool. Not even, I don't think Hot Toys even has done one of the chairs for the Emperor. Let me look at the details just in case, because I see that it has like a little paint they did that give that effect. I'm not sure if it says anything about that. Let's see right there. The wrinkles of his face under his pitch black robe, ominously glowing eye characteristic of the Sith, and the throne it sits on a dignified pose have all been recreated down to the finest detail in 1/10. I think it looks great. I think Palpatine looks good. $220 is within the range of what they're selling these statues. So just keep an eye on it. Kotobukiya again. doing really good stuff. But another thing Kotobukiya released, now looking into the ARTFX J, what they call it, which is where they go into the anime stuff. This is, if I'm not mistaken, a 1.8 or 1.7. Yeah, this is an ARTFX J. Now this one, it's a statue. Let me see if I can see the scale somewhere. No, it doesn't say. So this is more like a 1.8. 1.7. This is another character. I don't remember the name of this guy. I just forgot. Kaneki Awaken, and this is for the Tokyo Ghoul. You like the anime, you like the manga, then definitely this is what you can see. A very interesting looking one. Not necessarily, I've never been a fan of Tokyo Ghoul. It's not my thing, but I know there's fans out there. Very cool detail. Again, all PVC allows for that translucent look of things, which looks really nice. It's a very nice effect, you know, kind of translucent effect. But then again, I will tell you this, the PVC that Kotobukiya uses, the quality of their PVC is always on point. Very heavy, very sturdy. Makes those statues, they feel like they always fill them up with something. Some figurines, sometimes they look very light. Or they seem, when you touch them, when you trying to grab them, they're very light. But now with Kotobukiya, there's always extra weight, which is great. They fill them up in a weight, so it makes them look more premium. $120 for this one, so keep an eye on it. But the big one that I want to talk about today, and this is from Kotobukiya, is the Invisible Woman Bishoujo. Now we're celebrating the 15th anniversary of this line that has been terrific. You know, this line has been terrific from the moment they decided to start back in the day with this collection. It's been a terrific journey for them, and it's just amazing to think about it. You know, when they started, you know, to give you an idea, when this collection started, it was 1.8, and then they moved into 1.7, and now of course they've been 1.7, and now this is just to commemorate the 15th anniversary, 15. So it is 1.6, which is a lot larger. I heard some people saying that they have done others, but they haven't done others. As far as I know, this is the first 1.6 in commemoration that they're doing. I'm not sure if they did one in the 10th anniversary. I'm not sure if Rogue was the one. Rogue was the first figure that they ever did in this collection. I think Scarlet Witch was second, and then Black Widow was the third one. And then this one came out within that timeline, the original. 2011, but I think this has been for a while. So look at this figurine. It looks amazing. The translucent PVC on the hands to create that effect. She's playing with her hair. Looks fantastic. I love what the base they chose for this. It's a very nice, interesting looking base, as you can see with the effect. This is closer to the art of the original artist, because of course this is based on the art. I don't remember the name right now. I'll find it in a moment. Oh, this is a nice angle for sure. But yeah, it's great. Even the paint, you can see that paint job is so well done. I will tell you, the collection as a whole, Bishoujo has been a terrific collection. Not everyone is a fan. Definitely, I never really collected it. I never really cared much about it in collecting it. But I have so many friends that have collected over the years, and it's always been fantastic. You know, I would say, and if there's one thing that Kotobukiya has been steady with, is there's one thing that Kotobukiya has always kept at doing, is the Bishoujo line. Everything else they have done, for some reason or another, they not like you know, what they did with the fine art statue line with Marvel, that didn't last long. Artifacts didn't last long. They always do new lines with artifacts. Or ARTFX Plus or ARTFXJ, they're always coming up with their new lines and they disappear into oblivion. They do this, they do that. There's so many things, and sometimes it's so disappointing to see that the Kotobukiya doesn't stick to a lot of things. And the things that you hope, they just did. No, some years ago when before the pandemic, they got into this thing with the Kuchar brothers. The Kuchar brothers will be the directors to do a lot of Marvel stuff. We haven't seen nothing besides Deadpool and Cable. They went totally radio silent, and it's not the Kuchar brothers. I know that. They're working with other companies, but they haven't said anything. So it seems that it was just a one-time deal. Same thing that they treated Eric Sosa, one-time deal, and then they're kind of left them to hang and dry. The other things that Kotobukiya does, sometimes I don't get it. But one thing for sure they have been steady with has been the Bishoujo line. Although, you know, they changed from 1.8 to 1.7, all that. People were upset when that happened. Here's another picture. This is a picture where it shows you the original, the 2011 version. This is actually a 1.8 version. This is a 1.8 scale in comparison to the 1.6. So the 1.7 will be a little taller than this, but this is the original, just to give you an idea how far we have come with this collection. And honestly, this 1.6 looks a lot better than this version. Even they took some of that, the power, you know, they did around her, the field power that she uses and all. They actually use it here, and it looks a lot better in this new version with translucent instead of this one is more opaque. So yeah, it's a much better statue. And I don't know if it has a lighter feature. It doesn't seem like it, but definitely it's gonna be bright if you add one. Very nice figure. Again, they have done a terrific job with this collection. It's amazing. Here, art by illustrator Shunya Yamashita. He's the one that has been doing statues since 2009. That's when they started this collection. Again with Rogue, but in this case the art, he's been terrific. I think this collection has been steady, and again, this is another thing that we can praise Kotobukiya. There are a lot of times when I talk bad about Kotobukiya, I took smack about the things they have done over the years, but if there's one thing I can praise them, is that being able to stick with one thing, at least one thing, is the Bishoujo line, and being successful with it, and having so many fans out there, you know, around the world loving the stuff that they do. So kudos to them for doing such a thing. All right, so that is Kotobukiya. Now, while we're talking about 1/6 scale figures made out of PVC, I want to talk about another company here while I have you at Sideshow. In this case, is going to be a Gecco. Here you can see, actually, see this statues. This is art. This stuff that this stuff that's been on pre-order. It's been out for a long time, but it seems that they have more. Now they have on pre-order. Technically, there's stuff that they already had. You know, we've seen from Pure Art. These are large quarter scale statues. They're fantastic statues, so you miss on those for sure. But I want to talk about this one, Sakura Head. This is from Gecco. Gecco has been doing statues based on a lot of gaming, particularly horror stuff, for years. This Japanese company concentrates on that. Their PVC statues are not cheap. They're always expensive, $130. And that's something that they have done for years. But there's a lot of fans out there that still collect this stuff. This is a 1/6 scale statue. I am not necessarily a Silent Hill, Silent Hill fan. I don't really care much about horror video games or horror as a whole in many ways. But this is a very interesting concept. Very tall, as you can see, 16.14 inches tall. Of course, it's a 1/6, but she's standing on those things of what makes her look taller. Very interesting concept, very unique. And I know there are fans out there that love this stuff. There's a lot of detail there. Very creepy, of course. Although I've seen creepier from Gecco. So if you're a Silent Hill fan, if you loved, of course, this gaming franchise, I think that's what Silent Hill is. Then by all means, this is it. Look at that, the detail there. Weird, you know, this is one of the those games are being weird in my opinion. Even the stuff, you know, anything that has to do with horror, I am just not necessarily a big fan. But I can actually praise the art. In this franchise, whose horror type of games I've never been like, I don't know, like some people love horror type of thing, you know. The most I can do is maybe The Last of Us, you know, and that's about it. But anything else beyond that, I'm just not a thing. But looking at the detail of this statue, it's just terrific. And again, if I'm not mistaken, this is PVC, and it looks so good that it looks almost like you're looking at resin, like you're looking at something that is not made out of plastic. Of course, keep in mind, resin, polystone is also a plastic, you know, that has some elements of, you know, rocks and stuff and stone that is added in order to kind of give it that stone feel. But it does have resin within the end. Resin itself is a plastic, is oil base. But here you can see the details. Look at that. Gecco statue, horror video game, as you can see. The sculptor is Shinya Yamaoka and Katsushige Akijama. That's the painter. this is made out. Actually, no, this is made out of polystone. So I was wrong. It's polystone. They normally do that, but it seems that this is polystone, which is now I'm corrected about it. And it's also polyurethane, which also is a plastic. So some of the elements, I guess, the more fragile elements are made out of polyurethane. It should be. Well, probably the base, some of the other parts are made out of polystone. I'm not sure if the statue itself is made out of polystone because it would be very fragile to stand like that. So I would assume that perhaps this is more, the figure itself is made out of polyurethane and the bases are made out of polystone. That makes more sense in my opinion, that and the way that they normally operate. But yeah, if you're again a fan of Silent Hill, you're a fan of Gecco, this is what they released this week. Looks cool, you know, if you're into it. So that is great. All right, my friends, I want to say to all of you, thank you very much for your support. Those who are watching, I think a lot of people are kind of quiet right now. So I hope that you're still watching. But I want to say thank you. I know many of you watch, you know, while you're doing other things, and maybe you come back. Keep in mind, I always go do the timing, the timestamps. So tomorrow you'll have the timestamps. If for some reason you missed something, you can always go back and you can look at the stuff and you can go to that particular time where I talk about those things. Oh, okay. So keep moving. Let me take you now. We're going to get out of, in this case, Sideshow, but I want to take you to, let's go to Dark Horse Direct. Dark Horse Direct released another statue. Dark Horse Direct is getting into the statue game heavily recently. They have this Halo 2 Master Chief statue. Of course, the show, I just watched the show. The second season ended, and I will tell you, I'm a big fan of the show. I know a lot of people are not fans. A lot of people don't like it because they have taken liberties from the show, from the video game, and they have created their own story. But in my opinion, you know, it's a good show. I like the show. I'm looking forward to season 3. I loved it. I watched it with my life. I have enjoyed it. This is the Halo 2 Master Chief 20th anniversary, of course, celebrating the anniversary of the game. It's completely sold out at the Dark Horse. It went out on pre-order this week and it sold out right away, which that tells you how impactful this collection is. They also have the Halo Infinite Master Chief with grapple shot PVC statues. So they have a couple of things there and a couple of things for Halo, as you can see. But this is the one I want to really cover today. I would say this pose is intriguing, but I am not like, oh my god, blown away by it to say, oh my god, this is just like the greatest thing ever. I'm not sure you can see it well. The pose is okay. I would have preferred a different pose. We definitely need more Master Chief statues, man. Here you can see. I'm not sure if you can see it well there because of the way of the camera is located. But that gives you an idea. There is a video there. It's based on the art of Craig Mullins. It does have a LiDAR feature. So let me actually take you. Well, we have you here. Let me take you to Facebook. Let's go at. Let's go to Dark Horse Direct because they may have the video here. So that way you can see it. Oh, those figures. That Hellboy figure is awesome. Here you have it. Here you can see this has the light up feature. Very nice detail. Very nice weathering in the paint job. I don't know who painted this. The figure came out. I think the LED makes it special. Even the LED I can see now on his rifle, it is great. It would have been nice if they have like some type of light up feature of reflection also in his visor. That would be fantastic. Limited to 1,000 pieces, sold out in 1 week. Sold out in less than a week. That tells you how many fans out there love the, you know, Master Chief. They love Halo, regardless of whatever. People don't like the show, whatever. I think there's always going to be a fan base for Halo. So yeah, this is interesting. Interesting pose. But it's kind of cool to see, in this case, the company doing this statues and see what else can do. I think Dark Horse is really coming up strong with a lot of the stuff that they have, which is great. So it is really cool. Hopefully they also add more, keep building more from each game. Each game definitely is iconic, and each game in its own right, it would be great to see it. I agree. The pose wouldn't have been my first. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm not necessarily a fan of the pose. I don't know why they went with this pose. Like, I know he's in a fight. I know he's sliding through there. But, man, there's so many iconic ways to represent Master Chief. I don't know why they went with this one. I think, as up to this day, my favorite statue, my favorite Master Chief statue is the Sideshow Master Chief statue. I think that is the best statue that has been done up to this day, and it hasn't been surpassed. No, nobody has done it better than. Let's see the other statue. I talk about it sometime by Gaming Heads. I don't know what happened to Gaming Heads. That statue is all right, it's okay. There was the other different variations, and there's been figures. But this Master Chief here, let me show you here at Sideshow. We come into this one. This is an old one on the. This still a fantastic way to represent Master Chief. Still, this was from the Halo anniversary. But look at the detail, man. That statue, and I've seen it, of course, in reviews. If you have never seen it, I will recommend you to see it. It's not a new statue. Still hard to come by because people who own this one don't want to let go. But that was definitely the best, perfect pose. This is how you represent Master Chief. Of course, the exclusive come with the switch out weapons. Let's see if we can see it right here. That one sold out. It doesn't show, but yeah, you have different weapons, switch out weapons and things. But I will tell you this, yeah, if you ever get that chance to see it, I will say it's a switch out hand with the Nittler weapon. So you get the nice weapon there. I know there's a picture for us to see. No, there's none. But in any case, just to give you an idea, this is not a bad statue. It sold out very quick. In my opinion, it's sold out because at the end of the day, and the price of $200 is perfect, but at the end of the day, it's because there are people hungry for collectibles for Master Chief. We have had figures, small figures. We still need even 1/6 scale figures. I don't know why companies are waiting to produce 1/6 scale figures. Maybe Hot Toys or any other, like 3-0, they can produce some good ones. They are producing statues, figures. 3-0 is producing figures with diecast elements for gaming franchises. Or why not Halo? I think that would be fantastic to see. So we'll see. So this is what Dark Horse Direct has been doing. So we'll skip that one. So now let me take you. Now, let's go to Spec Fiction. We've been in a lot of places except Spec Fiction today, which is interesting. But here I want to talk about, now talking about within the statues, we're going now into the quarter scale. No, we're not in the quarter. We're still in the 1/6 scale. I want to talk about Cartoon Kingdom. This Inspector Gadget. Cartoon Kingdom does a lot of stuff, as it says in the name, based on cartoons, classic cartoons from the era of the 70s, 80s, or whatever. They released this, which I think is expensive, for $1,200, 1/6 scale statue. I'm not gonna fight with you and say, oh, the price stinks. I think it stinks, but what I'm saying, I think that it's really cool what they do as a company. Now, the Spectre Gadget, again, 1/6 scale statue. It's huge, has a lot of different details. Here you can see, I love this cartoon as a kid in the 80s. It was one of my favorite cartoons to watch. The whole concept with that, a lot of people don't like this, the forced perspective. I get it. Force perspective can be weird, and they doing that here, of course, with the buildings. It's a force perspective. Everything looks smaller, and it's more about from an angle. I'm not necessarily a fan on what they do it, but I will tell you, it's kind of nice concept, very different. But I still don't think that $1,200 is the right price for something like this. I will say more like $800, perhaps, because of, you know, this the size, because yeah, it's a 1/6, but look at the height, look at the different, you know, the you know, the stuff that it is the detail, the intricate detail. There's intricate detail, even though it might seem simpler because it's based on a cartoon. There's detail, a lot of fragile parts, little components, all of that adds up. And here's a picture of this in production, all the different parts. It's a really nice, it's a nice statue based on a cartoon that, you know, I'm not sure that there's enough market for it, in the sense there's a lot of fans that remember the cartoon fondly, but of course Inspector Gadget, even though there's still cartoons happening in Europe, particularly in France, places like that, there's a lot of cartoons based on 3D animation. They try to keep this franchise alive. It hasn't been as globally successful as it was originally, but you know, it's gonna release first quarter. If you're really into it, there's even a video right here if you're interested in spec fiction, just to give you an idea what Cartoon Kingdom does, other things they have. They also have done, we talked about this Captain Tsubasa when on pre-order, it's on the wait list 2 years ago, but they also had this Popeye figure, which is fantastic. They also had this Smurfs diorama, which that is another one they have on pre-order. This is the price, in my opinion, that they should have priced the other one too, because this one also has great detail with all the little Smurfs, and I love the Smurfs, you know, as a kid. Another famous cartoon for me. But look at that one. That is a really nice detail. That's another great one. So yeah, Cartoon Kingdom, yeah, some of the prices, and this is one thing where I can say a lot of companies concentrate on one thing and one thing only, and there's still market out there for things. Like we talk about, you know, Halo, you know, we need a company that concentrates more on Halo, and I think they can do great. Cartoon Kingdom is concentrating on cartoons, on classic cartoons from the 80s, or even before that, from the 70s with Popeye, things like that. I think there's a market for all those things. So that limitation in the market, I think, is great, because it means that now you can get into that niche and you can produce a lot of stuff and people won't love it. But another thing that also they have to be careful is the pricing. And Cartoon Kingdom seems to be a little high right now for a company that is not as super well known as other companies are. Yeah, I'm glad too, Eddie, because to me, like, you know, these cartoons were so good to watch as a kid, you know, like Inspector Gadget, the Smurfs, all these cartoons were, to me, like, I think that they have gone away because now they have some other stuff, but they still have value, you know. Like, I love the, you know, the Looney Tunes. I grew up watching so many of those cartoons, and it's nice to see companies producing stuff. I would love to see companies producing stuff for Garfield. I would love to see companies producing stuff for, I don't know, the Heathcliff or anything. So many other cartoons that, you know, so many that cross my mind. So much stuff that is so valuable. You know, all the Hanna-Barbera stuff. There would be fantastic to see that. But Cartoon Kingdom is definitely doing something here that is very, very cool. So kudos to them for doing such an amazing thing. Now, while I have you here as Spec Fiction, I'm gonna talk about another company releasing something else, and this is Soul Wing. I think this is not the one. I don't remember. Yeah, I think this is the one. No, sorry. I mean, there's so many clues. This is Soul Wing. Soul Wing, if you're a big fan of Bleach, this anime, they're also created a gaming franchise, all of that. I used to love the games, the fighting games of Bleach on my PSP and all that, and others. Duel of the Second Division, Joruchi versus Soifon. I think that's how you pronounce it. $600. I think that's why you should price 1/6 at the most. This is a diorama with a fight. I will tell you though, all the stuff that Soul Wing does, they always surprise me. This is not necessarily my favorite of all the stuff they have done. I think they could have done a lot better with this display, with this diorama. It's a fight. It's just a weird angle to look at this fight. So it's hard to see the you know, their portraits. You know, you have to kind of go around. It seems a bit busy. So not necessarily this is my favorite thing that Soul Wing has done. And definitely those portraits, the expressions are a little dry. You know, but yeah, it's like you're gonna have to have a rotating table to really kind of look at the from different angles. Not necessarily my favorite representation of a fight. I love versus battle dioramas. All the versus dioramas are fantastic in my opinion, always, most of the time. But I think Soulwing could have done something better with this one. So yeah, this is not necessarily an exciting. And when you look at Soulwing here, look at the stuff they have done as a company. A lot of the stuff they did do for like One Piece, for example, or even for the stuff that they have done for Goku, for Dragon Ball, looks fantastic. The Saint Seiya stuff, it always looks amazing in my opinion. So those are really nicely done. This is perhaps of all the stuff that they have released so far, even the stuff that they do of course here for Berserk, but all the stuff they have released, this is perhaps the most boring in my opinion. And I don't want to be offensive here, but this is the one that has excited me the least. This is the one that I'm like, okay, it looks like a fight between Bleach. This is the first statue that I've seen from them doing of this franchise. So it's not the most impressive. They could have started with something better than that with this characters that are not necessarily main characters. But it's fine, for what it is. But yeah, they could have done better. But yeah, Soulwing is a company that definitely does really nice work. And kudos to them for doing something very, very different. Okay. All right. So we've been at this for quite some time. I still haven't taken a break. Let me take one break. I want to say thank you, everyone. We really cover a lot of ground, but I'm still gonna come back because I want to talk about and the way back. Of course, we covered a lot of stuff, but on my way back, we still gotta talk about Tweeterhead. I want to talk about the newsletter that came out this week. We're gonna look at the reveal. There's some teasers there, very important teasers for those who are fans of the stuff that they produce. We're gonna talk also. I want to talk about other companies here at Spec Fiction. I want to talk about Yuewen Animation. We're gonna get into the quarter scale Piji Studios. We're gonna talk about PCS, Sideshow. And we're gonna talk about Prime One Studio and Elite Creature Collectibles. And technically, we are almost. We did good time on that. All the stuff that we covered today. So give me a couple of minutes, and I'll be right back, and we'll continue on talking about collectibles. Thank you for your support, my friends.
She loves the fact that I just let her know. Now we're together, it's a different mode. We getting crazy in a different role. I love the fact I didn't let her go. She loves the fact that I just let her know. Now we're together, it's a different mode. We getting crazy in a different role. We getting crazy in a different role. She loves the fact that I just let her know. We getting crazy in a different role. Crazy in a different role. She my do or die, my bona fide. My up when I'm down, she's always beside me. She makes me feel alive, I won't deny. Her love for me is real and kinda suicide-y. She's not the same, she's such a rare type. She's far from plain, at least in my eyes. She said if I cross her, I'll be in the grave or under attack, but yeah, that's still my babe. I love the fact I didn't let her go. She loves the fact that I just let her know. Now we're together, it's a different mode. We getting crazy in a different role. I love the fact I didn't let her go. She loves the fact that I just let her know. Now we're together, it's a different mode. We getting crazy in a different role. We getting crazy in a different role. She loves the fact that I just let her know. We getting crazy in a different role. We getting crazy in a different role. Crazy in a different role. We getting crazy in a different role.
getting hype when I aim up. Elevating that game up. Stepping up to the competition. Only first place, and that's how I'm living. I'm with it till they digging up my grave. Eating all the things up on my plate. Game face when I step up into place. I was born and when I watched me elevate. I was born and when I watched me elevate. All in when I show up. Whole place about to blow up. Superior to that competition. I'm in first place, yeah, that's how I'm living. I'm with it till they digging up my grave. Eating all the things up on my plate. Game face when I step up into place. I was born and when I watched me elevate. Watch me elevate. I was born and when I watch me elevate. I was born and when I watch me elevate.
Fight for my ascension, for your ascension, you must prove it. 'Cause if you can find it, you don't confine it, you let it move. Make way for the genie, scream for the dream, may coming through. Yeah. Have you ever played with a queen? I can show you what I mean. Game over.
All right. Thank you very much, everyone. Thank you very much for being here tonight with me. I know that it's not always an easy thing to do. But I want to appreciate that you take the time to watch the video. I appreciate each one. Eddie, thank you very much. Kenny, all of you, late night trip, all of you, thank you very much. Everyone, Cypher, thank you very much. So in any case, we're gonna continue on now. I want to take you in this stretch of the night. We continue with the big companies, big statues, and I want to take you to. Let me see if I can go. Just bear with me while I'm doing this. I don't think I'm gonna be able to do any of that. I'm not sure if you can see this. Let me check. No, you cannot. So I was trying to see if I can open. I'm gonna have to decipher how to do it. In any case, the best way to do it. Let's go to Facebook. Here on Facebook, let's go to Tweeterhead. Of course, Tweeterhead just sent a announcement of, or they did a newsletter. Always the newsletter comes and tells us what is to come, which is great. Tells us all the plans that they have, all the stuff they did. There's were some really nice reveals, of course, things that we did. Here are all the photos. Maybe I can show you. There was on the newsletter, of course, they point out the guys at Rat Titan. They had in their this week's podcast. I didn't hear it. I didn't have the opportunity. Normally I don't get it because of the time when they do it. Normally I don't, and then of course I get busy doing other things, so I don't get a chance. It wasn't a while to stop by it and listen parts of it. They, you know, I known these guys for a long time, Alex and Gio. So they're great guys. So they had the podcast. They had Chad. They got Dave, and they were talking about a lot of things with Tweeterhead. Fantastic podcast. If you haven't seen that episode, take the time. To listen and chat with these guys. Chad, the owner of Tweeterhead, Dave, of course, and Dave, of course, that's as David Igo, of course, the guy that used to be the art director at Sideshow, of course, is now with Tweeterhead. He's doing amazing work. So that was an episode, and they have a few reveals there, which is great, and the stuff that that is important to see. But I think some of the stuff that we saw, of course, some of the new things we know that, for example, we have a new maquette that is coming, as we know, of Darkseid. The first Darkseid that came out as a 1/6, I think is a phenomenal figure. I love that statue. I think it's a fantastic statue, awesome statue. But as we know, the old Superpowers line, the scale is a little shorter in comparison to the 2.0 version. So this is going to go with the 2.0. And also people already, I'm happy that they're doing this instead of other characters. It's just the way it is. I think Darkseid is a character that sells. They go with another great pose. The other one is more of in the classic form. This is going to be a little bit in between, I guess. I think it's a fantastic presentation. The way he's standing there, the base and all. It definitely seems like it's an impressive. This is going to be a huge piece as a 1/6, so we just have to wait and see. But this was the teaser that was showcased there. Also, we have other teasers. For example, we know that there is another maquette that is coming for Doomsday, and this is the first the thing that we have seen that was showcased there in the presentation. The hand, the fist of Doomsday. So a lot of people are excited. Doomsday is of course a great character, a fan favorite, and we'll see what happens with this figure. I'm not so sure exactly what we're gonna get to see there, but definitely there's another thing there to see. And I'm not sure if we can see more of stuff on the newsletter here. Of course, here you can see the stuff that we have seen. These are the stuff that they showcase, of course. On the newsletter, they talk about the stuff that they have they're working on, the stuff they're working for the Masters of the Universe. You know, Scareglow is coming. Man-at-Arms is coming for the 1/5 scale. Of course, the more reveals about the Thundercats. We know that. So there's, you know, there's a lot of things. They're also doing others lines. They're opening the door, and that comes in the newsletter. We're going to get more reveals when the time comes. We're going to see that they're doing more into like their own monsters or, you know, type of creation thing. So definitely the potential of what they're doing is there. It's really cool to see these things. Let me see if I can actually take you to, let's go to Statue Forum. I haven't been to Statue Forum in a while. Normally I don't go there as much as I used to, but I might be able to see images there if we have anything that says about Tweeterhead. Let's see. Right there. Of course, we also got the I'm gonna also take you to Instagram. Maybe we can get the images there. Instagram, Tweeterhead. Also, of course, on those reveals that they have on the newsletter, they talk about the bus line that they are actually working on. That we have seen stuff. I'm not sure that we can see here. Here you can see, of course, this picture. We've seen that. Of course, we know that Doomsday, the bus is coming to go with that Superman. And there's really not stuff here to showcase, so we'll see. Of course, we got the Mr. Freeze 1/3 bus. This is the photo that was showcased. And also we got the teaser. We got this bus. Of course, Batman is coming. Dr. Freeze is coming. So this was showcased at the Rat Titan. They showcased this image. So that's another... this is another line that they started, that they're talking about myth and monsters. They were talking about the present this that they are showcasing. I'm not sure if we can see an image there. Right there, this is the image that they showcase. Krampus. They're gonna do this monster line, the werewolf. So they're already going into that, also new direction. Some people like the idea, some people don't. They definitely, I think there's a lot. And definitely there's a lot more there. But yeah, this is the stuff, as we have mentioned it before. This is the stuff that they're doing. And, you know, time will tell exactly what Tweeterhead is doing. Definitely they're doing some stuff. And it's kind of cool to see this company evolving and definitely growing. And the interaction with the community, but also the stuff that they're bringing into the table. Onto the table, they bring in some really cool stuff. We'll see what happens this year, but definitely there's a lot to see. I want to see more of that Doomsday, more of that dark side. We'll see how that goes, and hopefully we get more reveals, of course, of other characters on the I would like to see other characters for the DC, you know, superpowers line. So we'll see. So that's what we have for the stuff that was that we saw, the teasers that we got from Tweeterhead. Now let me take you to Spec Fiction back again. I'm gonna talk about another, now get into the quarter scale stuff. We are looking at this particular Yuewen Animation. Yuewen Animation is a company, they do have if you come to, let's say, to YouTube, Yuewen Animation, they do a lot of animation, 3D animation. This channel has like almost 1 million subscribers. I think I did it wrong. Let me take it to YouTube. Just to give you an idea about Yuewen Animation. Chinese company. Okay, doing it wrong. Right there. When you look at a Yuewen Animation, they do their own animation. A lot of this stuff, of course, in English. You can watch full episodes of Yuewen Animation here in English. They got it in English, but also they got it in English and in Chinese. And those animation that they do, a lot of their own episodes, large episodes of this mini series that they do. So a lot of the stuff that they do on their own, a lot of course, different versions on their own stuff, you know, their own shows or whatever. This here in English, this one has 740 videos. I don't know how many subscribers do they have, but they do have a lot of views. Oh, 206 subscribers. But if you do animation without the English version, there's also this one. So they have different channels. This is mostly on, if you want subtitles, everything it's sub, particularly in Chinese. So these are what you get from this company, which they also have comics, you know, their own series of manga. Well, as they call it in China, they call it a different name. But this is a character that they releasing from their own creations. Battle Through the Heavens. This Queen Medusa Conqueror quarter scale statue, by the in this case by the same company that produces this. It's almost $1,000, $139. It's a quarter scale statue. Looks really interesting. Love the detail of the character. Really nice skull, nice paint job for sure. And definitely that the clear resin or the polyurethane they use or whatever they use in order, it looks fantastic. It's a huge, fantastic looking piece with a lot of great detail. Look at that base. And I really don't know much about this character, but to be honest with you, it's a very impressive looking piece. And the size of this is 82 centimeters, almost a meter tall. Is really tall for square scale, but of course he has to do with the base. I think there's like some type of foxes maybe or something, or some cobras, and there's some detail in that base. Is really cool. Fortunately, there's no more pictures of it, and I did not find a page for them on Instagram or on Facebook where I can see the statue with more pictures. So that is the only thing. This is technically an import that they in the spec fiction is importing from China, but it looks impressive in my opinion. Very interesting looking statue. Only limited to 200 pieces, made out of resin, polyurethane, and magnets, of course, to put all the different parts, I guess, together. Very cool looking, very interesting. Yuewen animation. I think this is the first statue, the first one that spec fiction is carrying. So I'm not sure if they have done anything else in the past, or any of their statues collectible. So this might be the first one, but it looks great in my opinion. Very, very unique style, very unique art. Kudos to them for doing something very unique. Now, there's another company I want to talk about that also produces a lot of these figures. They in my opinion, they look good. This is Piji Studios. Piji Studio, another Chinese company. This is the line Armor 4 Elf series. They produce different versions of this female character. Very sexy looking. Price is perfect at that point, $629. For this one, this is also, I think they also do I don't know, like online series or whatever. But these are very sexy looking statues, as you can see. This is a very unique, has like a more vampire look, kind of like a Dark Stalkers vibe in some way, as you can see with those wings. This is definitely kind of demonic in some way. Yeah, there's some way she is with the horns and, you know, the wings, the detail. It's a very nice detail piece. I haven't seen it. What kind of materials are you using here? This is for reference on this scale. It's a museum pose. Standing is Lilith. So definitely that's her name right there, Lilith, as you can see. And the materials, it says luminous special effects on gothic style base, simulated skin. So if it's simulated skin, it means that he has like an actual kind of like a in this case the same material that is used for J&D or whatever. It might not be at that level of what they call medical grade silicone, but it does have like a silicone. I think PG Studios does like a silicone. It has done a lot of silicone different statues. We're gonna look at some of them. It has the vintage style metal chain, is polystone, high permeability resin, PVC, and material. So the skin may have some of that. Here are the people, other statues that they have produced, as you can see. PG has done many different statues, and just to give you an idea here. We're gonna look at the stuff that PG has done. This is the same series that they have done. We have talked about this, a lot of these figures in this channel, this lot of statues. Some are better than others, but they're all impressive in my opinion. We got about the Creek Maid. This PG Studio is also known by other name. I don't recall right now. But this one is a 1/3. It's also They were selling also at Sideshow. So they have done others under another brand name that is not PG, but definitely they're the same company. This is another one that we covered when it came out, 1/3 scale. This is actually silicone statue. Very impressive with this company. We talk about this one at some point too. That's another impressive statue. This is in the line that we're covering today of Lilith, the same. This elf statue, very interesting. I like this pose very good, and I do like that base. Very artistic detail for sure. Giving you an idea what Piji is doing. Another part of this Armor Force series. This is another one that is on pre-order. This is a 1/4 scale statue. Some of the details on this, it says 18 plus because some of the statues can be undressed, and some people like to do that. And definitely this is on the sexy side. This is not for, definitely, as you can see right there, you can undress the character, things like that. So, you know, it's not my cup of tea in the sense, like, I would not display this at home. I would, unless I want to get divorced. Like, to be upset, I mean, divorce me or something. But, you know, this is what they've been producing with this collection. And of course, you know, there's always going to be a fan base for anything. So looking at this type of statues, you know, there's no reason to say, oh, okay, this is terrible or not. It's very cool. This is another one. I'm exploring some of the statues so you can see them. PG Studio, definitely. This is another one part of this Armor 4 Elf series. So all of this 1/4 scale, it's a collection, which is something really nice. I like that this really shows this company is really being popular while they're producing a lot of different statues for the same line. And it's a collection itself. And there haven't been so many female collections in recent years. You know, there's been a lot of female statues for a lot of Marvel stuff. But it used to be a time, even with Sideshow, used to produce, you know, female lines all the time. Very sexy looking ones. It started with even Adam Hughes, and they do all that stuff then. And they haven't really done this. Oh, this is a very, very seductive one. So they haven't done much of it lately. But when you look at this, you know, it's kind of interesting that some companies there's still a market for this more with this sex appeal type of statues or figures. And again, there's not for everyone. You know, they in many ways they're very erotic, so it's not something that is anybody can really take and say, oh yeah, this is something that I'm gonna add to my collection. Here's another one, Sound. This is one that has a lot of great detail. And I remember this one, the base is so huge. And then she's like a pixie or something. So look at the scale of this statue. Tremendously big. Well, it's this Sound of Sand statue. Here you can see more. So of course this you know, we can go here all night, and I have already talked about many of these figures, but PG Studio produced a lot of stuff. They also done some of the stuff more known, and I love when they have done the Samurai Showdown stuff. Very fascinating looking piece. Max Shiranui from King of Fighters. I love this one. But when they do their own thing, when they do all this, also the Naraka Blade Point, they have done all these things. Definitely PG Studio really does amazing on their own creation. So yeah, this is a company that I would recommend anyone to keep an eye on to see the stuff that they have on store. Very unique style, very unique stuff. All right, so let me take you now. We're gonna go to PCS. I'm gonna take you to PCS, and the reason why we come to PCS is because there's a new statue available at Sideshow, available on everywhere else, also available at Big Bad Toy Store. But this week they're releasing April O'Neil. Now, if you come to Premium Collectibles, to PCS, to the website, you can get the special exclusive that they have, which is the one that comes with an extra switch out part. This is great thing about Premium Collectibles is that they all offer also great options of payment. You get a discount, 10% early pre-order discount if you buy. Also, you get you know, back PCS loyalty points. So it's a better deal to come to them instead of going anywhere else. Plus, you get the exclusive. It's the edition size for the exclusive is 200, so it's limited. Now, when you look at this, but before we do it, let me see if we can see the artist, because hey, why not? The artist did this work. I hope that I can see the artist here. So I don't see the details there, which sucks. But in any case, here you can see this line. This is the other line, the 1/3 scale, which is different, but also fantastic. But the cartoon line still kicking. And when you look at her, I would say the only thing perhaps is the expression. I would have loved for this to have a switch up portrait with a more happier, smiley face, and then of course the serious face. She's standing on top of a mouse, you know, the mouser, which is great. There's a really nice touch. Very cool base. He has the classic outfit, of course, from the cartoon. He has her microphone, her camera. I think that is a perfect choice. She's a reporter, of course. Very nice looking. Very definitely the paint job is not bad. I think they did a really nice job. But yeah, I would have loved to see a different portrait, or even just have a different face expression, like they did with this. The other guys, they do have like more serious in a battle mode, but Donatello had the more geeky one, so they couldn't just go with a happier face. They went for this one. Still looks fantastic. Very nice detail. She looks great, definitely. Body type is really cool. And definitely she looks like a bit sexy too for a cartoon. But yeah, a little sexier than she looked in the cartoon, although she was always really hot in the cartoon, even as a kid, I'd say, for a cartoon. But in any case, the switch up part that comes with this only here is this pizza, the slice of pizza, of course. That's a pepperoni, has some green pepper. That's like a supreme pizza. Yeah, it has like a black olive, so I can see that. That's what I got for lunch today, so. And I had some leftover, so I might get some of that. In any case, this is what comes with it. Of course, the exclusive comes with the gloves and the cleaner kit. The cleaning kit, you get the coin, you get the metallic, you know, certificate of authenticity. It looks good. Very nice. The pizza looks good too. This is what I'm gonna have after I finish this. This is what I'm gonna have for dinner. I'm gonna get another slice if there's some left over, hopefully. But yeah, very cool. Nice angle. Definitely the pose is great. I think the pose is really good. Overall, it's a nice looking statue, and here you can see the whole setup. This is where this is going to shine. If you have the whole collection, this whole collection has been really fantastic. All of them has been really good. Everything that has been displayed here, everything that so far we have seen. We still need a Casey Jones. We still need, you know, what's that? Master Splinter, and you name it. Usagi Joe Jimbo. Why not? You go crazy with it. You know, there's so many things that you can do here. Very nice statue for sure. And I would say again, Premium Collectibles should be the place that you should order. So you can own. You can see that cleavage. Okay. I see you. But then, you know, this is definitely... Oh, I like the watch, too. Look at the watch. The wristwatch looks kind of cool. Nice detail. Definitely nice paint job. Whoever painted this, even the hair, I can see the strands of hair. Very cool. Oh, look at this. This, I don't think this is sculpted. This is part of a mixed media thing. That mouser is done. Very nice. Very nice. Yeah, everything has nice detail, and definitely it goes with the cartoon collection. So I would say PCS have done a fantastic job once again. PCS is on a roll this year. Every week they have something. Every week they are showing us something. They're showing us what they're capable, and definitely fantastic. They're keeping up with it, and that is great. So we'll see. I think there's a lot. I said the coming soon is the Juggernaut. I saw the teaser. We saw the teasers on that today, this week. I'm sure the next week is going to be available for sure, and we're going to look at it when it goes. Looking forward to that 110. Juggernaut looks fantastic in my opinion. So yeah, kudos to PCS for another great week. All right, so now let's go back to Sideshow. And the reason why we're about to Sideshow now that we're getting into what these companies are doing, let me take you to the reveal of this week first before we get into. And again, I'll tell you early about Pure Arts. This art on pre-order. This has been on pre-order forever, but it seems that Pure Arts had some extra stock, and now Sideshow has them, so they're gonna sell them. You know, Pure Arts just kind of does that all the time, which is strange. It shouldn't be doing it that often, you know. But in any case, this Batman premium format statue figure, a lot of people have mixed feelings about it. And I gotta be honest, I'm not disappointed with it. First of all, foremost, because there's room for the, you know, to produce Batman, you know. there's always going to be room. There's always going to be new versions, new variants. Definitely they went with a tone that a lot of people are not familiar with. Now, if you come to see, and I'm going to show you this, a lot of people on social media are kind of divided, saying, but why they went for this, why they did that, and I get it, you know, like, if it's not your cup of tea, then, you know, it's not something. Like, you know, the thing is, you know, a lot of times people have this idea of who, right there, let me see if I can see Martine. Right there, Martine Canal. Martine Canale, the Gore Group, of course, she's been pretty much the head of you know, of this company for a long time. Not the head, but at least the person that has created so many things. But here is what he showcased. Here you can see a better picture now. Here's that. Look at the picture. We'll look at it in a moment, but look at what he's saying. The Dark Knight purchased a tub. We're gonna look at what he wrote down here. I'm sharing a preview of the new Batman from Sideshow Collectible. This is what he posted this week. I'm very happy about this one since I get the chance to play with a character done many times. Here I made him a very comic style with a strong reference inspired on great artists I really love, like Brian, Simon, and John. Now, who is Brian? Who is Simon and John? Just to give you an idea, of course, I'm a big, as a person who reads comics, I was like, okay, I know what you're talking about. So he's talking about Brian Boland. That's what he's talking about. Of course, Brian Boland of course, when you think about Brian Boland and his style, the way he portrayed Batman with the pointy ears, a very kind of gothic style, I would say Brian Boland, it's a good inspiration. It seems it's always been. Then Simon, I'm thinking he's talking about Simon Bisley. Yeah, he's Simon Bisley, definitely another one that has that little darker tone. And I'm thinking when he's talking about John, he's talking about John Bolton. So these are people in the late 80s, early 90s that they're doing this style that is very gothic and unique. And I would say that I can see it there. However, I can even go further down on the style of those three guys, where I feel that they definitely, he's more of a Norm Brayfogle, you know, style. I even said that on social media. It looks more like he's inspired of Norm Brayfogle's style, sorta. Because Norm Brayfogle, he definitely dictated. He was the one that kind of set the stage in the 80s. He started drawing the Batman in if I'm not mistaken, the year 1986, 1987, and he did it for a good time throughout, all the way till the 90s. He did so many different lines, so many different issues, different even series, mini-series. And Norm, who now rests in peace, of course, it was a phenomenal. His style was marked in many ways. And I gotta be honest, even goes before that. The original artist that really started the trend to make it this more gothic, more like a kind of weird, more esoteric look of Batman was actually, if you go to Vil Sienkiewicz on the anniversary of the 400th issue of Batman in 1986, Vil Sienkiewicz, of course, he was doing this gothic style that he did with the New Mutants for a long time at Marvel. He was invited to work at DC, and the first work that he ever did was a Batman 400. He did part of the issue because there were different artists working there. He did a mini story inside, but mostly it was his cover, which was a different take on Batman. Let me see if I can show you here. Batman 400 cover. Sorry, didn't do that. So let me show you the image that I'm talking about, just to give you an idea. This is Batman 400. This is 1986. I don't know if you can see it from there, but there's a very gothic style of Batman. This definitely opened the door for different takes of Batman, different takes on his style. I don't know if you can see it there. I'm trying to see if I can find one. Just to give you an idea of the cover that he did. That is the cover right there. That is Batman Anniversary, Batman 400. Vil Sienkiewicz. Interior art, of course, you can see, was written by Doug Monk, but there was illustrated so many different miniseries by all the great artists. Even Brian Boland was there. But I think this is the issue where I saw for the first time Batman being portrayed in a more gothic style. in the art style that, of course, you know, Vilsinkiewicz was known for during that time. He was very popular what he was doing with the New Mutants. So, of course, this was the beginning. This definitely opened the door for artists like, in this case, it was follow-up definitely by Norm Breyfogle. Batman. No, of course, Norm has a very different variations of styles, but his style was like this. Even a McFarlane copy that kind of followed that trend in some way. You can see the more stylized way with the face and this, but it was not just like that. It was like there was a lot of different things that Norm did over the years. His stylization that he did with Batman. I don't know, you can see this one right here. I don't know if you can see it here. I'm trying to get into more of the images and able to see them. Let me see if I can open image, new tab. Here you can see. So he was doing some of that. You know, Norm Breyfogle did a lot of different things. Of course, he did a lot of different styles over time, but there was always going into this very gothic way to see the Batman. There's so many different things that Norm was doing that give her a different vibe over time. Here, look at this statue. This is a statue by the black and white by DC Direct. Look at that. That's what I'm saying. The style. When you look at the face, when you look at that, and definitely I feel more inspiration on that statue. But I can go on and on. I can be here all night showing you everything that Norm did. Some of the most iconic stories that he did, and there were some, like this one, for example. Look at this one. When you go inside the art on this one, this is a classic cover by Norm, but the story inside of that one, it has a very gothic feel. Of course, when you look at that, it evolves on, but there were a lot of artists that inspired so many artists during that time. People like Sam Keith, you know, they kind of follow when they did, you know, Batman, they've kind of followed the same trend. You saw people like Kelly Jones, for example. Kelly Jones on their kids' covers where they're very, very, very kind of have that vibe. So when he's talking about Brian Boland, for example, yeah, I can see Brian Boland too. It did Brian Boland. Although Brian Boland also had a classic style, but at times Brian would do the, you know, some of that Batman, like you can see this one right here. He can do the crazy looking Batman, you know, when they did the crazy looking, Brian also would do it. It became like a trend in the late 80s. I think from the mid 80s, late 80s, it became a trend. Here's another one from Brian. To kind of portray in the 80s and during that era, which kind of may consider like the dark era of Batman, to create like a more crazy looking, kind of looking like a vampire. So you saw a lot of that. Dave McKean too. That classic, Dave McKean. That is a classic too. With Arkham Asylum, you know, like he got that classic crazy look. Yeah, he looks like a vampire, like a monster. You know, it's just, there was a lot of things that they did, like crazy with the design, the very artistic looking, very weird. Arkham Asylum, of course, with Grant Morrison. That's a 1989 series. So yeah, you can see all of that. But kind of give you an idea of what he's taking inspiration, like Simon Bisley. I'm going into this rabbit hole trying to show you so many things just to give you an idea of what they're trying to do with Batman. Simon Bisley here. Yeah, this is when you start seeing like this crazy looking Batman. Look at that. So in some ways, I would say yes, he is the, you know, Canale is the artist. He is taking inspiration of his favorite art, and he's taking this and kind of coming up with something. And I would say, yeah, I think the inspiration is there. but I would say I would more than giving credit to this artist because they got the more bulkier looking, like Sam Kidd style that they have. Even Kelly Jones, of course, Kelly Jones, I always loved those covers. They were fantastic. And also loved when he was drawing Batman 2. It was very different. But yeah, you're looking at that in the late 80s, early 90s. You look at this horrible looking Batman with this like big pointy ears. You know, and some people don't seem to, you know, this is the part where I can tell you that, not going back to this Batman here, looking at this picture better. You know, a lot of times people are like, oh, this Batman, who was thinking? Like, I see so many people criticizing it. Thanks for putting this on my radar. Yeah, never heard of them. Yeah, I've been reading so many comments, man. I'm telling you, I know. But I will tell you one thing. Putting this in perspective, when people say, oh, doesn't look like Batman, I'm still like, I don't know what Batman are you talking about. This looks like Batman to me. You know, it may not be the Batman you grew up with, or maybe the Batman you're familiar with. Maybe if you're into like Jim Lee, because that's the only Batman, maybe that's when you start reading comics with Jim Lee, perhaps, when he was doing, of course, his stuff with Batman Hush. Or maybe you like, you know, I don't know. There's so many, like, I try to remember everybody else right now. It kind of closed my mind. All the different artists, like, they're doing Batman. And there's so many great artists nowadays. Although I feel that everybody, in modern times, Batman has changed a bit, where people are trying to make it more like he's more militarized in some way, that he has the tactical suits and all that. But during the late 80s and 90s, Batman still was, in the early 90s, Batman was still like this, you know, like kind of still, it was a transition time from the classic stuff from Neil Adams, from the stuff from all the previous artists that were doing the more classic looking Batman, into the new style that became, of course, in the 90s. And you see all these artists that they're taking form, you know, with the Vil Sienkiewicz era, with the, you know, the Norm Brayfogle. All these guys were doing this Batman that it was in some way anthropomorphic. It looked like a vampire. The facial expression was different. The pointy fingers, the musculature on top, kind of slim at the bottom on and I can see that in this case, Martin Canale went for it. And, you know, I don't know how Martin Canale, but I am sure that we're not as old. He's older than I am, sure, but not as old. So as a person who grew up in that era of comics in the 80s and 90s, I can see totally, I can relate with this Batman. And it's not for everyone. This is definitely for some people. Now, this is just a teaser that we're getting, but this teaser is giving us the idea. And I can see that. I can see the inspiration of the art, all these artists in that era. It's not going to appeal to everybody, and it shouldn't appeal to everybody. I think there's room for Batman for a lot of people and different artists. At the end of the day, it's important to represent the art of these people who were iconic during the time, because all the artists that I just mentioned were iconic during their time, during their run time with Batman, and they were as popular as, you know, Havoc or you know, any of the new artists now, or Jimenez, or any of the new artists that nowadays are the ones that everybody's talking about. You know, like, there's so many great artists. There's so many great artists over the years that have done Batman, but this was a trend. And definitely there is, it's different. You know, I do like it. I think I like it's a very unique, very stylized, but also very dynamic Batman. It is very, very, he's in action. He looks like a Batman. At the end of the day, he is the Batman. It's in the name. So he's representing a bat. So yeah, I do like it too. I know some people like it. This is definitely for some people. That's not for everyone, and I'm glad that Sideshow is doing new things. Seems that this year they're trying new things. They're going into the more thing. They actually are getting bold into trying to represent different things, different art, allowing artists to bring into fruition the stuff that comes to mind, and I think it's great. So yeah, we're gonna wait until it comes out fully. We'll know more about the piece. What else is gonna come? It's gonna come with switch up parts. What else is gonna in different angles? One day it goes on pre-order, we'll know more about it. But I think it's very unique. Now moving into the next thing, we took some good time here, and I'm going back to a Sideshow. Let's talk about now to the big statue, the big pre-order that they have this week, which is the Wolverine Berserker 1/3 scale. This is the first 1/3 scale statue that they have ever released, and I think they come in with a bang. I know some people didn't like it, but I think last week they were talking about it, but I think this week they're more converse to it. Now that we are able to see the pictures from different angles, the more you see it, the more you like it. Of course, some people are still not gonna like it. because of the art style. A lot of people say, well, that doesn't look like Wolverine. Wolverine should be like this, should have this face. And a lot of times people were pointing at Jim Lee as the artist. And again, Jim Lee, even though he's a very popular artist that has, and my favorite looking, one of my favorite looking Wolverines, not my favorite, not the top, you know, because I still like others, but one of my favorites. I love Jim Lee. But he was not the only one. And there were other artists that actually spent more time drawing Wolverine than he ever did. And I think when I look at it, the first thing that came to mind when I saw it was Mark Texeira. Mark Texeira did, with Larry Hama, did a long run. It was a lengthy run with Wolverine. He was the artist of Wolverine for a long time, and he depicted the Wolverine this way. Depicted a more the very, of course, you're talking about that era when everything was all over your face. He did a really nice job. They haven't said that this is it, but when I see the Berserker, when I think about the Berserker Wolverine, I definitely can see Mark Texeira on the art here. Some people also say Joe Madureira here, and I can see some of it, but not all of it. I think it's mostly Marcus, but I can also see Joe Madureira, who came afterwards, and Joe Madureira had the style too that kind of lends itself to this. And this is a great piece. $820 for a 1/3 scale piece. It's kind of unheard of nowadays. Now let's look at the pictures just to get into it. The Lido feature on the base is another nice touch. It really makes it shine better. It looks more bloody, even though it has no blood. It looks really terrific. He's about to pound somebody. He's about to kill somebody. Somebody's going to be stripped out of everything. Disemboweled for sure. And it looks really good. It doesn't have a switch up portrait. Here's a comparison with the others. It's just perfect as it is, you know. And you know what? There can be as many Wolverines as possible. Wolverine's such a popular character. There's so many variations of it. And definitely I can see Mark Texeira. Now, look at this angle. I think this is a fantastic angle. Now, what I have you here, just to give you an idea for those who are not looking at this, let me show you Mark Texeira Wolverine. These are the images of Mark Texeira. Mark Texeira always did this kind of like expressions, his covers. He was never anatomically correct, which is fine. But again, this is in the trend where they were doing all these things. Look at this one, for example, here. Another of Mark Texeira's covers. I can definitely see it on the statue that we just saw. I can certainly see it. But that is just like even the older ones, even in the more current ones that he has done, like this cover, which is, I have this one on the omnibus that just came out recently. The omnibus of the Wolverine omnibus. This is the what is that? This is the volume 4. This is volume 4. Yeah, that is to me the worker Mark Texeira right there. That is what when you look at it. I love that cover. I chose that particular cover on that omnibus. But yeah, you can go on and look at Mark Texeira work. Some of the more recent ones too. Let me see if I can find one here on all the stuff that we have seen, because Mark Texeira has been doing different runs in different times. Of course, he did a killer Sabertooth always. Trying to see if we can see more. Look at this one. This is on the brown costume. So when I look at that, I'm definitely can see Mark Texeira. I always like his style. You know, I would say I'm not gonna say I always like it. There were time in my life that I found it too murky. But over time, as I kind of grew with it, I kind of realized that it was the choice that he made, not because he was a bad artist. He just chose to depict Wolverine in a way that was like this. And definitely, he took a lot of inspiration from Norm Breyfogle. He was the Norm Breyfogle. He's still alive. The Norm Breyfogle of Wolverine. Like, he kind of... If Norm Breyfogle was ever doing Wolverine, in my opinion, this would be the way it would look. So it seems to me that they're kind of the same. They follow the same trend, the same style, we're in the same era with Wolverine here on the 1/3, but also as they did with the Batman. They're going into that style of the you know, the late 80s, early 90s, where there was a lot of this crazy look. among these characters. But yeah, crazy to see this character. I think this was also Mark Teixeira. This is another cover that I like, if I'm not mistaken. No, this is Quesada, but it's also a fantastic one. Also, this Quesada cover is really very cool. Joe Quesada also does great covers, as he always did, and he, you know, wish that he could do more. But yeah, man, I can go on and go on, and there's someone, like, I'm trying to think about some of the more newer ones that he has done that they're just, he looks like an animal. But yeah, they kind of skip my mind. But I'm gonna also show you, like this one, for example. This is another one. This is Mark Teixeira right there, man. I can actually grab the book and show you, but I'm not gonna do that because, of course, for time reasons. But you know, that's Mark Teixeira. And you can also say Joe Madureira, like some people were saying. I can say that too, Joe Madureira also. You know, keep in mind that this, what the artists are doing here is kind of representing different types of different variations of the art. I would say, yeah, with the expression, definitely Joe Madureira. Look at this one, for example. Looks like an animal. Yeah. Yeah, I can see Joe Madureira doing it. This was another statue. This is actually a statue that was created recently. That was Joe Madureira's statue. This is a custom piece, and definitely that represents that. I can see that as well. Very fantastic piece. So they're going for, you know, that look, that vibe, that monster vibe, that animal that is in berserk mode, ready to pound, ready to kill somebody. And I think they're capturing the style very, very well. And this piece definitely captures that. You know, so we have seen a lot of times people see Wolverine as this kind of nice looking guy, and of course based on the films. But the truth of the matter is that in the comics, he's a stocky guy. He's not that tall. It's stocky, he's small, but man, he's deadly. And he's not the prettiest guy. He's hairy. Look at the teeth, fantastic jump in there. Look at the scale reference with that poor lady that's just sitting in there on that stand. Very cool looking piece. The light of base. At every angle, this is a very unique representation of Wolverine. That's not for everyone, for sure. But the more I see it now with the different angles, man, he's an animal. He's as his name says, he's a Wolverine, ready to kill somebody. And look at the damage done on that base with the light of feature. The claws, I'm not sure if these are metallic claws. I think they're sculpted. I think people are saying, some people are complaining that they're too long, and they're saying that is not natural, that is inaccurate to the body size. And I'm thinking, like, dude, you know, this is a representation of a comic book, you know, and they're representing based on a comic book style. So yes, it has to be like that. You know, some people want realism, and sometimes people talk about realism, other people who do not read comics. And I don't know, if you don't read comics, I don't know why you're collecting Wolverine statues. Yeah, do whatever with your money. You know, but if you don't collect comic book, you know, you don't read comics, or you don't know comics, then why you're collecting comics? So, and that brings me to the place where a lot of times people just collect things because they like, or because they want to be part of a group, and they want to belong into a group. They want to chat with people online. They want to be part of that group. So they collect the same thing as everybody else, just to kind of socialize with others. But they're not real fans of this because they don't even know their whole story. I'm not saying that you need to know the whole story of Wolverine, but at least have an idea or a concept, or at least have a sense of respect, in the sense that we have to respect the history of these characters to know that Wolverine hasn't always looked the same, and it's always been represented as any other character in so many different ways. And artists have the right to represent the art that they prefer. And, you know, it's okay to have different variations and variants of things. Not everything has to be the same. There's not such thing. Sometimes people say, oh, the perfect Wolverine or the perfect statue of this character or other characters. That doesn't exist, because that is very subjective. I even see people trying to compare this on social media, some Facebook groups, with other statues, saying which one was best, and they thought that the other one was better. And most of the time, people choose the one that they own. So yeah, you're gonna choose what you own, because at the same time, you don't want to lose value. Even deep inside, subjectively, you are just choosing the one you have, and you're actually battling your head with to think if the one that just came out is better. And I gotta break it out. I break it down to you in this way. There's always gonna be something better. Always. Don't think that you have the ultimate piece in your collection. Never think that way. There's always going to be a statue that's going to surpass what you have. Whether it's now on the road, 10 years from now, there's always going to be something better, because the art always improves. Of course, classics remain timeless, and you're always gonna love those timeless things, and that's fine to love those timeless things and to be in love, because I still love some of the old classic stuff that, of course, they don't age, but some things, some pieces, they age like good wine, like all good wine. So, but other pieces not so much. It would be cool if he had some damage on him, like cuts of healing. That is a good point. I gotcha. I can see that. Although I can see that there's some like kind of, well, the damage in his outfit, as you can see in his shoulder pads, some scrapes, but I totally get it. I totally see what you mean. Maybe some cuts. That's what I was thinking, because he's going for the rage mode, but we don't even see any blood in it. They kind of keeping it a little PG-13. You know, this customizers, of course, will definitely... I know some people are going to grab this and they're going to customize the heck out of this, and they're going to put blood and all kind of things, which, hey, at the end of the day, it's a canvas. You can do whatever you want. It's your piece. Yeah, they've always been. Like, the claws of Wolverine has always been long, even more than normal. So, but you know what? We grew up with it. We don't care because it looks cool. I always like the low, you know, even if they don't look anatomically correct, I'm okay with it. Because at the end of the day, let's keep in mind, it's a mutant that has claws. That makes no sense. But he has claws. They're full of adamantium. His skeleton is adamantium. So that makes no total sense, but it makes sense when you read the comics. It doesn't make sense in reality. It's like you think, what? That's stupid. The stupidest thing. But it's fun just to think that way. So yeah, it can look, yeah, you know, it's good to stylize things. It's something that I learned even, I mentioned before, talking to Eric Sosa in my podcast last year. He mentioned it. Stylizing things is what sells. And if you know Eric Sosa's art, he's always been stylizing. Make it break the fourth wall. You know, that's something that you got to do. Like Deadpool breaks the fourth wall, of course, in literary, you know, in writing or whatever, story-wise. But the same thing, you have to break the walls that separate when you do art. If you make a statue look normal, it's fine. It looks, but at the same time, it looks boring. But if you break it out in a way that looks dynamic and crazy, like you see on that diorama back there with Colossus, that fastball special, that is not something that a person would do any given day. That's just no way that you can throw somebody that way. But it makes sense in the comics. So, and it has always made sense, and it's a cool depiction. So when you do something, just break the walls and do it. That's the reason why the comic book characters have been always popular, because they're super muscular and nobody can grow those muscles, you know. But yeah, in our mind, we can. We you know it's possible because on the comics, because it's the story itself, you know. And I feel that artists are doing it. I think they go more. The expression is bigger. You know, he is more of a beast rather than anything else. I would love for this to have a switch out portrait. It would have been nice to have a switch out portrait with all the hair crazy like that. And why not have it like you said? And I think I agree with you, Adonis. It would be great to have, like, you know, some wounds in his suit, like he can see the tear skin and the blood. That would be great to go alongside it, because they did that, the damage they did, but on the base, just to come up with the lighter feature, which is great. So I think it's a great piece. It's not perfect, but it's very unique, and it's definitely a good entry into what they're doing now with the One Third Cell collection. We'll see what's next. You know, I think the potential is there. We're gonna see more from Sideshow for sure, moving forward, of course. So we'll see. All right, so now let's go to the final piece. Definitely has been an interesting night so far, but we still, well, actually, no, we still got two more companies. I kind of get distracted here. It was interesting. Sideshow kept me going, but let's go to Prime One Studio. They had two new pieces here. I'm gonna start first, kind of give you an idea of this, just for the heck of it, because we're looking at it. This is the Prisma Wing thing. This is what they've been doing, of course, on the PVC side, the smaller stuff, $290. If you're into Prisma stuff, again, this is like, you know, the figurines, which are popular for some markets. Very cool. That's what it is. I really don't know much. I think this is an anime, a TV series in Japan. And it does have like different portraits. Swappable Heads has 2. And there's an extra one that comes as a bonus. So you got 3 actually. And actually, this is not like the heads are swappable. It's the faceplate that you can remove and put new things. It's a very cool looking, interesting thing if you're into this. Again, as I mentioned before, I like to talk about these things as out of respect too for collectors. Because, you know, just because I don't like it doesn't mean other people don't. It has a lot of detail. Again, Prisma Wing is what they've been doing. Although, really, with Prime 1 Studio, they've been doing this Prisma Wing kind of like very open. There's so many things that they cover with them. I'm not so sure exactly what is the intention that they have. I think it's to expand into a more affordable market. It would be nice if they're able also to produce statues that they produce. They want 1/3 quarter scale, also going into the 1/6 scale or even smaller. To create like a more affordable version. Even why not? What Iron Series is doing, smaller versions of what they already done in bigger scale. I think a lot of people will be interested on getting into that kind of thing. There's a lot of things that I would love to see that they do, but in a smaller scale. Even if it doesn't have to be 1/6, it could be 1/10, it could be 1/7, it could be a lot smaller, it could be the size of this. And here you can see you have removable parts. Kind of interesting. So there's like a bunch of pictures, different angles, different places. It would be nice to see, definitely to see Prime 1 to bring things smaller in scale. But yeah, it's kind of cool. I'm gonna stop it right here because actually we're almost there. But $290, the new thing. That's the bonus version, has the extra faceplate, so you got a total of 3. But the reason why we're here, it's this Chopper Predator. This is again another from the Alien vs Predator line. Here, 150 pieces, $3,000. We talked about the Celtic Predator a few weeks back, and now they have the new one that goes with it. I will tell you this: do you need all of them? No, but I'm sure some collectors out there are willing to have them all. There's always gonna be fans for Predator. I think I like the Celtic one. It's very similar. There's so many similarities here. So definitely you have to be a completionist. This is the Reese Gauntlet. Always a detail. I will tell you, if you're looking for the best Predator statue in the market, you're not going to find it anywhere else but at Prime 1 Studio. Prime 1 Studio produces the best of the best with so much detail. Amazing looking pieces. This is just unique. As a 1/3, it's massive. And he does have a lot of different, here you can see, I think that's the Celtic back there, or the same. Okay, so here you can see, this is what they've been doing so far for the collection. These are all the pieces that are gonna be, technically it's gonna be 3. So at the end, when you're looking at this at $3,000, in the end it's gonna be like a $10,000 or more with the shipping total collection for all of them to combine, all the pieces together. And I'm sure some people are willing to pay the price to have them all. So, very cool concept. Definitely looks great. And as always, the pictures that Prime 1 produces on point. A lot of detail on that base. Like the plate on the base with Alien vs Predator. That's a cool touch. Oh, this one is cool too. So you got 2 different versions, metallic and the sculpted one. Very nice. So all the pieces combine as they are. So we already have this too. I think this one is the one missing from the whole collection. We will see, but we have the Celtic and the Chopper, and we'll see what's next after that. So yeah, that's cool. Very interesting to see what Prime 1 Studio is doing. And finally, say, oh, I don't know why that Predator is that expensive. It doesn't have any switch outs. It's just that Predator. At this point, I think it's because of the price range. At this point, I think it's because all of the others have been priced within the same. I think they just simply just selling at that point. Definitely, they're making more profit out of it with a lot less than they do with Celtic Predator. I would say if I have to choose all of them, I'm definitely going for the Celtic Predator. I think the Celtic Predator, it's the best. The edition size on this one is 150. Now let me see. Here's the Celtic Predator, which in my opinion is the best of the 3. Also 150. Very limited, but yeah, the Celtic Predator has the limited edition. And I will tell you, they have done other statues that in my opinion are better. The ones that did as a quarter scale, I think they did. Which one is the one that all of them that they have produced? He had the Chopper, the Jungle Hunter Predator it's definitely one of my favorite. This is definitely one of my favorites. Also a now 1/3. This is a nice one. You know, this Jungle Predator was perhaps one of my favorites. That came with so many different switch outs. It's just a gorgeous piece. And I talk about it when it was on pre-order. It's a fantastic depiction. That is definitely my favorite. And I think it's more classic than the others they have. At this point, the prices are just out there, you know, with the statues. And, you know, whether I like it or not, I think that's Big Game Predator was one that a lot of people like. City Hunter Predator, that's another one people like. But my favorite has been so far has been the Jungle Hunter Predator. I think that's the best that they have produced so far. But yeah, and this technically they're going for the 3, but you know, they produce a lot of stuff. It's unreal what they do here. And the thing is, it sells. They sell, and they sell well. Amazing. On Jemima, I'm getting this. You're getting the Predator. Congratulations, my friend. I'm sure you'll be happy. You can afford it. I cannot. But if definitely this Predator, Prime One Studio is the best company when it comes about Predator statues. Like the laser on the helmet, on the chopper. Yeah, I like that. I like when they do those little touches on the light ups. It's something that is very cool. That's not bad. That's little touches that they do. Definitely, there's a great pieces. Now, let me go now to the final piece. Now, just definitely to conclude the night. League Collectible Studio, Creature Studio. Now, this company, ECC, has been in market. I forgot what was that Cinematic. They used to be CinemaCat, which they're no longer in business. So they went in to do what is called the ECC. But they also been in the market for a long time. I think that's what it used to be. I think this was CinemaCat at some point. But in any case, Elite Creature Collectibles also always doing amazing statues. And I talked about it before. They released this week this Hellboy bus, which looks amazing. They also do like Jurassic Park stuff. As you can see, they do the bus and all. For other things they do, the Jurassic Park. They do sell well. That Ape Sapien scale bus was great too, but it was a 1/12, so it's not that big. But they have all this stuff, so many things. But this is what I want to talk about today: Hellboy bus. It looks amazing. Look at this one. You can pre-order right here. Estimated shipping only 150 pieces. It's $2,000, which is expected for this company. This is normally a price that you'll see with them. Look at this one. Again, it's a bus. Classic style. This is the back of it. Very simple, unique base. Like very classic. I think it's just perfect. Even Hellboy 2 says right there on the, there's this inscription on the base. The symbol of the BPRD. The detail there is great. The cigar, I think, is a nice touch. Very cool. Life-size bust. So that's where you're paying for this, the life size. I think it does have also the hair on the beard. That looks really good. I would say, I tell you, ECC, Elite Creatures Collectibles, definitely knows what they're doing. This company knows what they're doing. They're not as, you know, popular in some way. A lot of these busts are not necessarily as popular as they once were, but there's still a market. You see like that Jason sold out. They got all this buzz. The Guyver. Definitely this company is doing the thing. It's been doing the thing for a long time. So yeah, it's kind of cool to see. 2000, you can come here to that. I haven't seen it anywhere else. I haven't seen it. I'm not sure if they have it at Big Bad Toy Store. I haven't seen it at Sideshow. Let me see. They have Hellboy. No, they don't have it. It says relevance, new. Well, they got that quarter scale Baroncer statue, which is great. But yeah, that bus, ECC will be the company. Definitely doing real amazing stuff. They always do amazing stuff. So yeah, guys, really coming to the end of this video. It has been a really fantastic one. I want to say thank you. I'm sorry for that. Initially, I have to start it, and then of course, kind of went all bad. But I want to say to all of you, thank you very much. And I see that this, okay, I gotta arrange that thing in the back. In any case, I want to say to all of you, thank you very much for your support. It's been a fantastic night. We talk about a lot of things tonight, a lot of different things. You stick with me, and I'm sorry that we started a little late because everything that happened, I have to restart everything, and finally we was able to get a good signal. So, but I want to say thank you. Companies produce a lot of things, that's for sure. And this is the final note here that I want to kind of share with you. There's always going to be something different. So always going to be something that might not work well with everyone, or with you, or with me in a particular way. There's a lot of different statues that I don't care about. Some people, they go crazy for them. Representations of characters, even Captain America, you know, Wolverine or whatever, Batman. But the art doesn't do anything to me. However, one thing I know is that I respect what the artist is trying to achieve. I respect what the artist is trying to represent. You know, sometimes they want to represent the art of a particular artist that that in so many ways is iconic. Now, I will tell you this, for example, with Batman or Wolverine, I have my favorites. You know, I have artists that I love what they did with Wolverine. For example, I always like Jim Lee, of course. But prior to that, I love the way Wolverine was depicted by John Byrne. I love it. It was always fantastic for me, John Byrne, the way they did it. But there's always been great artists doing Wolverine. But I would say that Marte Teixeira, even though it took time for me to the art to grow on me, I totally understood what he was trying to do, and he really felt so good, played good with the character in that time. There are other characters like that. There's so many other artists that have done Wolverine in a really nice way, but everyone has their own style, and I respect that. At the end of the day, the stories that matter more than the art, in my opinion. If the stories are great, the art kind of go with it. You know, that's just the way it is. The same happened with Batman. You know, like Norm Brayfogle was for me, and I love what Norm did. There were many artists that did their own thing. Sam Keith, you know, the Kelly Jones. I love their covers and stuff, but they were more of a cover artist. But you know, not necessarily as a big fan of it, but I totally get what Sideshow's doing with that Batman, or what they're trying to represent that era, and it's great. It's fine. You know, it's something for someone, and not everything has to be Jim Lee. Not everything has to be, you know, as much as I love Batman Hush, you know, it's not the only Batman. Or, you know, Jason Fabok, it doesn't have to be the same art always. It has to, it can be different, and I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. So I want to say to all of you, my friends, I want to say thank you very much for your support. Thank you for being here with me. Definitely, these companies are killing it with this stuff. Again, as I mentioned earlier in the video, just because we think that the bubble is bursting doesn't mean so. Might be our impression, but honestly, these companies are producing stuff. And they're doing amazing, more than ever. They're doing more stuff than ever. And the prices keep skyrocketing, and people keep paying the price. Whether I agree with that or not, it's just definitely a matter of perspective. It's, you know, because they are selling. You know, I may not like to buy certain things. Like, for example, I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna give you an idea, just to give you an idea. They might sound kind of stupid. For example, a lot of people love Starbucks. I don't care, Starbucks. It's just high-priced coffee to me. But people love it, and they go for it. When I'm in California, you know, people love In-N-Out burgers. I've never been blown away by In-N-Out. It's not a bad burger, but not as good as some people make it sound. You know, a lot of people seem to love it. And the same happened. A lot of things people do. Companies produce something. I may not like it, and I may be vocal about it, but a lot of people seem to love it. and they're paying the price, so I have to kind of go with it. Yeah, it might not be my favorite thing, but there's always going to be a market. There's always going to be people who are going to love something, and they're going to respond to it. A lot of people love Domino's pizza, a lot of people Pizza Hut, a lot of people love this kind of thing. I don't like that that type of pizza. I like real pizza, but everybody's different. Just have to deal with it. So my friend, this was my little thought, my ending of this video. But again, I want to say thank you very much for your support. Please, if you are watching this, don't forget to leave a like this video. Thank you for watching with me. Stay tuned for next week. As I mentioned, as somebody asked about the J&D Catwoman, I'll talk about it next week. Once the video come out, but once we know more about it, then we'll go in detail. I want to go in detail with things. I try not just to react to things. I try to give information more than just reacting to things. So good night to everyone. Yes, lady. Thank you very much, my friend. Have a great weekend. Enjoy. I'm not sure some people are gonna be on Monday watching that solar eclipse. I think I'm gonna be at work. I'm not sure. We'll see what happens. So if you get the chance to enjoy that, enjoy it. Things like that don't happen often, so it's kind of cool. But good night to everyone. Have a great one. And I'll see you on the next video. Stay tuned, my friends. God bless you. Bye-bye.